holding a watermelon knife in his hand. A few dozen seconds later, Polite Guy came to his senses and stared blankly at Li Feiyu at the cafeteria entrance. A mere second-tier zombie. A mere tier 2 zombie. Wang Li looked at Li Feiyu in disbelief. The second-tier zombie was instantly killed. Is this even human? Chapter 56. This is the price of food in the apocalypse. Young Master Li is truly awe-inspiring and possesses an unparalleled spirit. While everyone was still in a daze, Zhang Tianlong had already begun to flatter him with a fawning expression. Li Feiyu glanced at Zhang Tianlong expressionlessly, then turned and walked to the liquor's head. A sharp dagger suddenly appeared in his hand, and he skillfully cut open the second-tier liquor's head, taking out a second-tier attribute-less crystal core that emitted a faint light. Wang Li and the others quickly walked up to Li Feiyu, their faces showing gratitude. They thanked Li Feiyu profusely, saying, "Li Feiyu, thank you so much for saving us." Li Feiyu smiled slightly and extended his hand. "It's all right. It's just a second-tier zombie. You can pay me 100 first-tier crystal cores, attributes don't matter." 100 tier 1 crystal cores. Wang Li and the others were instantly dumbfounded. Ignoring everyone's shock, Li Feiyu continued kindly. "It's okay if you can't get it for now. The interest is 1 tier 1 crystal core per day. With so many zombies in the school, you can collect it in a couple of days if you work hard." While everyone was still in a daze, Wang Li reacted and solemnly replied, "Okay, Li Feiyu, we will raise the payment. For saving their lives, 100 tier 1 crystal cores are indeed not excessive. Li Feiyu helped them solve this big problem and saved so many of them, so it is only right that he accepts some reward." Li Feiyu nodded. Wang Li was a man who clearly distinguished between gratitude and resentment and would never bully others by relying on his strength. In the original storyline, Wang Li died in the jaws of a 4th-tier alien beast while covering Su Chen's escape in order to repay a debt of gratitude. However, Li Feiyu did not intend to recruit Wang Li. Wang Li was a good person, but he would not be blindly loyal to any one person. Maintaining a cooperative relationship with such a person was enough. "How about we split the cafeteria supplies 90-10? I'll take 90% and you take 10%. Li Feiyu looked at Wang Li calmly. "Brother Li, don't agree to him. There are so many of us, a 90-10 split isn't enough at all, that's too low a percentage," one of them said urgently. The woman leading the other team also voiced her opinion. "Wang Li, our 3 teams together have more than 70 people. I don't agree to a 10% share." Wang Li looked at Li Feiyu, a troubled expression on his face. "Li Feiyu, this division." He didn't know how to begin. Before Wang Li could finish speaking, Li Feiyu interrupted him. "No need. Okay, then the canteen supplies are mine." "Li Feiyu, you're all alone. What right do you have to monopolize the entire cafeteria?" The woman immediately became furious. "Why? Tell me why." Li Feiyu pulled out his small revolver, which still had 6 bullets left. The woman was startled and instinctively took a step back, but still angrily rebuked. "Li Feiyu, we are classmates. How could you stand by and watch someone die? Do you have any conscience?" Bang! Li Feiyu raised his hand and fired a shot. The small bullet grazed the woman's cheek, leaving a noticeable wound. The woman looked at Li Feiyu with trembling eyes, and a few drops of pale yellow liquid dripped from her trouser leg. Li Feiyu really fired. He was serious. "Now all the food in the cafeteria belongs to me. I have spatial abilities, so you don't need to worry about me not being able to take it with me. For the sake of our classmates, I can make a deal with you. I'll sell you some food. You can discuss it outside. I hope I can talk to you about the price when I come out of the cafeteria." After saying that, Li Feiyu turned and went into the cafeteria, heading to the kitchen. Upon opening the freezer, the food inside had already begun to rot, as the power had mysteriously disappeared at the moment the apocalypse began. The only edible food left in the canteen was raw ingredients such as rice, potatoes, flour, lotus root, artificial mushrooms, enoki mushrooms, green beans, soybeans, garlic, and peanuts. There was still some cooked food left that was edible, but very little. With a wave of his hand, Li Feiyu put all the edible ingredients into the system space. In addition to food, gas cylinders, clean pots and pans, various seasonings and other things that might be useful were also put into the system space. After clearing out the kitchen, Li Feiyu removed some tables and chairs before leaving the cafeteria satisfied. "Li Feiyu, we've made up our minds. We're willing to use crystal cores to buy food from you," Wang Li said earnestly, stating the conclusion of their discussion. Li Feiyu nodded in satisfaction, took out a notebook, and wrote as he spoke. "1 small potato yields 1 pseudo first-order crystal core. 1 large potato yields 1 first-order crystal core. 10 grains of rice yield 1 pound of first-order crystal cores. 20 grains of flour yield 1 pound of first-order crystal cores. 5 peanuts yield 1 ounce of first-order crystal cores. Wang Li's face grew darker and darker as he listened. The price Li Feiyu was asking for was simply too expensive. Melted popsicles. 1 Tier 1 crystal core per popsicle, better quality ice cream. 2 Tier 1 crystal cores per ice cream, rock candy. 5 Tier 1 crystal cores per small bag, sunflower seeds. 1 Tier 1 crystal core per small packet, regular lollipops. 1 Tier 1 crystal core per lollipop, instant noodles. 3 crystal cores per bucket. Hearing the price quoted by Li Feiyu, Wang Li finally realized that Li Feiyu had already bought up all the supermarket's goods. After filling 2 full pages of his notebook, Li Feiyu suddenly said, "That's all for now. I'll count the other snacks when I get back. I didn't pay attention when I packed them up, and there are some things I really can't remember the names of." Everyone's faces twitched involuntarily. Black marketeers, blatant black marketeers. Wang Li looked at the price list in his hand, a black line appearing on his forehead. "Li Feiyu, isn't this food a bit expensive?" Li Feiyu shrugged. "This is the price of food in the apocalypse. I also have a team to feed, and if there isn't enough food, I'll stop selling. Whether you buy or not is up to you." After careful consideration, Wang Li gritted his teeth and tearfully agreed to Li Feiyu's price. "This. All right. Li Feiyu, we don't have any crystal cores right now. Could you lend us 2 days' worth of food on credit? I promise to come back tomorrow afternoon with some crystal cores to pay for it." "Okay, I can waive interest this time, but you'll have to guarantee it with your lives. If anyone doesn't want to pay, don't blame me for being ruthless." Upon hearing this, Wang Li immediately agreed, "Okay," without the slightest hesitation. "We brought the crystal cores to the girls' dormitory, where my team and I are now living. Of course, you can bring your own people and move in, but you'll need to take on some patrol duties, team tasks, and share responsibility for dormitory defense," Li Feiyu added kindly. "Thank you, young Master Li. If the relocation conditions permit, I will definitely bring people over." Wang Li quickly expressed his gratitude. Although Li Feiyu was clearly trying to steal his students' thunder, as long as his classmates could survive, it wouldn't matter if all his men followed Li Feiyu. Li Feiyu could provide food, something he couldn't do. He truly envied the space-type ability user. "Young Master Li, I'd also like to buy food from you," Zhang Tianlong said obsequiously as he approached. "Okay," Li Feiyu replied with a smile. "Li Feiyu, we'd also like to buy food from you." Another member of the third team stepped forward. He looked somewhat nervous, worried that Li Feiyu, a former captain, might rashly refuse their request. Li Feiyu nodded and did not refuse. Soon, Li Feiyu took out some cooked food, enough for them for a day. "I'll lend you the other half of the food tomorrow, when you bring the crystal cores to the girls' dormitory." "Okay," everyone nodded in agreement. Although they only received 1 day's worth of food, if there was a little left, it would be enough to last for 2 days. For non-combatants, 1 meal a day would be sufficient. Chapter 57, Su Chen's New Opportunity. On the 9th day of the apocalypse, the school was littered with corpses and bloodstains. Most of the easily cleaned areas had been cleared, leaving only a few areas with an excessive number of zombies untouched. "Young Master, I've moved everything usable from the boys' dormitory over here," Sang Bio respectfully reported to Li Feiyu. With the accumulation of a large number of crystal cores, all the bodyguards were upgraded to the level of first-tier superhumans, while Sang Bio even reached the late-stage first-tier metal-type superhuman. Li Feiyu was not stingy with his loyal underlings. Although they were not as good as Sang Bio and the others, 3 of them successfully advanced to the first rank. With 9 first-tier ability users, Li Feiyu's team instantly became the school's recognized strongest force. Li Feiyu nodded in satisfaction. "Put it in the storage room after you've organized it. I'll go check on it tomorrow." "Yes, young master," Sang Bio replied respectfully. After taking over the boys' dormitory, everyone had clean clothes to change into, and a small amount of food to replenish their supplies. Unfortunately, all electrical equipment became unusable, and even the power in the batteries vanished into thin air. As for why the power suddenly disappeared, it wasn't clarified in the original storyline. Later, the large human base did regain power, but the reason for the power disappearance was never found out. Some speculate that it was some kind of law-based weapon used by an alien civilization against humanity. Others speculate that it was an unknown cosmic energy storm, and still others speculate that it was related to the cause of the apocalypse. But when the apocalypse broke out, All the electricity disappeared at the same time, all the instruments were destroyed, and no clues were left behind. In the end, no one could explain it clearly. However, one thing is certain. Electricity can still be generated after the apocalypse, but it will not be able to return to the pre-apocalyptic state for a long time. Li Feiyu didn't care about the electricity issue, knowing it wouldn't be of much use to him anyway. What he wanted most right now was to quickly cut off Su Chen's luck and kill him. Knock, knock, knock. A knocking sound came from the dormitory door. Come in. With a creak, the dormitory door was pushed open, and one of Li Feiyu's henchmen, who had been sent out to monitor Su Chen, walked in. Despite the system's early warnings and predictions of opportunities, Li Feiyu still sent people to do some superficial work. The underling's eyes were filled with terror. Young Master Li, something terrible has happened. The zombies downstairs at the Dream Building are acting strangely and have started attacking each other. His face was deathly pale, as if he had witnessed something horrifying. Oh, take me there to see it. Li Feiyu deliberately feigned curiosity. On the 9th day of the apocalypse, there was still no movement. Su Chen's luck automatically activated an opportunity for him. It has to be said that the chosen one of destiny is unreasonable. Yes, young Master Li. 3 minutes later, Li Feiyu arrived at the flower bed building in the distance of the Dream Building, which had a good view. Looking around, he saw a bunch of zombies fighting and devouring each other. Li Feiyu knew that this was an advanced form of zombies that automatically erupted after reaching a certain density. The second-tier liquor in the cafeteria was also developed because the kitchen space was too small, and a certain number of zombies crowded into the kitchen, killing and devouring each other, eventually advancing to the second-tier zombie level. As long as there is no zombie king to suppress them, and no human flesh to attract them, any zombies that accumulate to a certain density will erupt into this advanced mode, until they successfully evolve into a zombie king with intelligence. Awo, one of the female zombies, roared. Then he was pounced on by another zombie, who bit off his neck. Before she could even show off, another zombie, showing no mercy, leaped up and attacked, and the two zombies started wrestling and tearing at each other again. This was not an isolated case. All the zombies were tearing each other apart. Despite being prepared, Li Feiyu was still terrified by the scene. The henchman beside him was trembling with fear. If Li Feiyu hadn't been there, he would have turned and run away long ago. Roar, roar, roar. A tall, burly zombie excitedly pounded its chest. Awo, awo. The other two zombies roared and stared intently at the giant zombie in front of them, seemingly having temporarily reached a cooperation agreement. The two ferocious zombies roared incessantly around the big guy, but neither of them made the first move. The surrounding zombies retreated 2 meters, clearing a circular open space, seemingly reserving a dual arena for their future king. The zombie battle in the distance grew increasingly frenzied, with zombies constantly being bitten to death, their flesh and blood crystals being devoured in an effort to level up. If the 3 idiots in the middle are all seriously injured, the other zombies will still have a chance. Young Master Li, why are these zombies attacking each other? The underling asked, his voice trembling. Li Feiyu glanced at his underling, handed him the binoculars, and analyzed. These zombies are devouring each other. It must be some kind of evolutionary process. Young Master Li, should we make a move now and take care of these zombies beforehand? The underling asked again, sounding utterly clueless. Li Feiyu looked at his underling as if he were an idiot, then pointed at the zombies in the distance and said, "Go." The underling shrank back and decisively admitted defeat. Young Master Li, let's just forget about it. With so many zombies, going there would be suicide. Li Feiyu ignored his brainless underling and continued to watch the zombie brawl intently. With over 300 zombies, it was certain that 2 or 3 second-tier zombies would emerge victorious in the end. Because Su Chen was there, Li Feiyu boldly estimated that the 2 second-tier zombies would continue to fight each other until only 1 second-tier zombie was left, heavily injured and on the verge of death. Then Su Chen would risk taking advantage of the situation and overtake the others. Now that Li Feiyu is here, Su Chen should just honestly level up slowly. A protagonist reborn in a post-apocalyptic world, yet after all this time he's not even as good as a random NPC. Su Chen's life has certainly been quite eventful. Meanwhile, Su Chen and the others on the Dream Building were also watching the chaotic battle of the zombies below with extreme tension. Su Chen remained calm, while the other 5 were terrified by the scene. Mu Zier, still traumatized, sat blankly in one of the classrooms like a robot. "Brother Chen, what are these zombies doing?" the fat man asked, his voice trembling. The others also turned their gazes to Su Chen. In their eyes, Su Chen was a prophet of the apocalypse, and there was nothing Su Chen did not know. Su Chen watched the zombie with great interest and casually explained, "Devour and evolve. Devourer evolution." The group exchanged bewildered glances. Is this the evolutionary path of zombies? It's terrifying, even the dead can't find peace. Those who turned into zombies, without pain, never expected that they wouldn't leave behind a complete corpse in the end. No, even if zombies don't devour each other, superhumans can still split a zombie open, leaving no whole corpse. All right, you guys go and rest. I'll keep watch. There might be a tough battle coming up later. Su Chen waved his hand, signaling everyone to rest and conserve their energy. Okay, Brother Chen, be careful. Call me if you can't hold on, the fat man said loyally. Su Chen didn't even turn his head, his eyes fixed longingly on the zombies downstairs. Understood. The group sat down weakly on the spot. 4 days ago, when Li Feiyu's men were packing their luggage, someone had acted unethically and smuggled half of their food, leaving them in a state of being neither starving nor hungry for the past few days. But they were helpless. Li Feiyu had so many men under his command, including many superhumans, and he also had guns. They dared not go to Li Feiyu to seek justice. Even if they dared, they wouldn't be able to break through with over 300 zombies downstairs. All we can pray for now is that these zombies will perish together, so they can go to the supermarket to find food. Chapter 58, Su Chen delivers the finishing blow. Li Feiyu follows behind. Roar, another zombie charged into the center of the battlefield. After devouring most of the zombies outside the arena, this zombie forcefully stormed into the center of the battlefield with invincible power. In an instant, the 2-on-1 fight turned into a 3-on-1 battle. The last zombie gained the upper hand, its body ablaze with flames, leaving the other 3 zombies completely bewildered. Fire-type zombies. Upon seeing this, Su Chen was overjoyed. If he obtains this second-tier fire element crystal core, he is confident that he can overtake Li Feiyu, who is currently ahead of him. After observation, Su Chen determined that 2 of the other 3 zombies were early-stage Tier 2 zombies, unremarkable and likely possessing the most common attribute, less crystal cores. The other was mid-stage Tier 2 zombie, very fast, and likely possessed a wind-type crystal core. No problem, the wind-type crystal cores can be traded if they are not needed. 2 second-tier crystal cores without attributes and 1 second-tier fire-type crystal core, plus dozens of first-tier crystal cores, are enough to bring him infinitely close to the mid-stage of the second tier. With his 8 years of combat experience in the post-apocalyptic world, he could easily defeat Li Feiyu, an ordinary second-tier lightning-type ability user. Thinking of this, Su Chen couldn't help but curl his lips into a crazy smile, secretly vowing in his heart, "Li Feiyu, just you wait. Once I become a second-tier expert, I will definitely show you what true cruelty is." Seeing that the situation with the flame zombies was largely settled, Su Chen quickly turned around and instructed everyone, "Fatty, get ready. We'll find a chance to break through." Okay, the fat man and the others nodded. They all had complete faith in Su Chen's decision. After saying that, Su Chen limped to the classroom door where Mu Zier was, pushed the door open, and said, "Ms. Mu, get ready. We're going to launch a surprise attack together." Mu Zier did not respond. She remained staring blankly at the blackboard, completely absorbed in her own world. Su Chen gave a helpless, bitter smile, turned around and left the classroom. He thought to himself, the goal this time is to hunt down second-tier zombies and obtain crystal cores to improve our strength. Zier isn't in good condition right now, so it's not safe for her to participate. Li Feiyu, how could you lay a hand on such a good woman as Mu Zier? You wait, I will definitely get justice for Zier. Not long after, Su Chen and his 5 henchmen sneaked down to the first floor, where the zombies outside were being fought to the last minute. The 2 lowest-level, early-stage Tier 2 ordinary zombies had already been killed by the flame zombie, charred on the outside and tender on the inside. The remaining extremely fast mid-stage Tier 2 zombie was also at its limit, and the mid-stage Tier 2 fire zombie was also seriously injured. The remaining Tier 1 zombies all stopped killing each other and quietly waited for the 2 Tier 2 zombies in the center of the battlefield to determine a winner and become their leader. Once those 2 zombies have decided who's stronger, we'll rush out immediately. I'll hold off the flame zombie, and you guys quickly deal with the scattered level 1 zombies. Then come help me, Su Chen calmly instructed. The loyal fat man immediately assured him, "Don't worry, Brother Chen. I'll take care of the zombies as quickly as possible and then come help you." Su Chen, we're not even at the first level. Why don't we choose to break through? One of the underlings questioned. None of the 6 of them were even at the first-tier level, yet Su Chen arranged for them to deal with first-tier zombies and even wanted to target second-tier zombies. He didn't understand. Hearing his subordinate's rebuttal, Su Chen was very displeased, but he still pretended to understand and explained. Tier 1 zombies are not much stronger than level-less zombies. We are all very close to Tier 1, so dealing with these Tier 1 zombies is no problem at all. And that fire zombie? Su Chen paused, then continued. The fire zombie is currently severely injured. If we miss this opportunity, it will probably be difficult to hunt this fire-type zombie again in the future. Moreover, there are 3 readily available second-tier crystal cores and dozens of first-tier crystal cores nearby. If we obtain them, our strength will definitely increase significantly. At that time, I will become a second-tier powerhouse and no longer fear ordinary pistols. Our chances of survival in the apocalypse will be much greater. On the contrary, if we fail to take this opportunity to kill this fire zombie and allow it to successfully devour the zombie flesh and crystal cores here, it is very likely to advance to a third-tier zombie. Once zombies reach level 3, even ordinary rocket launchers won't harm them. The school will become extremely dangerous. With our current strength, leaving the school and going outside will only make things more dangerous. After speaking, Su Chen looked at everyone quietly, waiting for them to nod. Su Chen was confident that after his passionate and righteous explanation, these people would agree to hunt down the second-tier fire zombies. No need to say anything more. I'll definitely accompany you to the death. One of the boys, bursting with a sense of justice, immediately agreed. Since Brother Gu agrees, then I'll give it my all. Since it's for everyone, count me in too. With a flash of luck, the boy who had raised the question nodded in agreement. Since you all agree, then I'll go crazy with you guys this once. Su Chen nodded in satisfaction and solemnly warned everyone, wait for my command later. The 5 nodded in unison, said nothing more, and began to concentrate on observing the distribution of the zombies outside the building. How? Knowing that escape was hopeless, the speed zombie suddenly accelerated, using all its strength to deliver a rocket headbutt to the abdomen of the flame zombie, despite the flames engulfing the flame zombie's body. A loud bang. The flame zombie's body smashed through the building's glass and punched a large hole in the wall of a classroom inside the building. The speed zombie's head plunged into the flame zombie's abdomen. Enraged, the flame zombie snapped the speed zombie's spine with a single blow, while the speed zombie continued to frantically gnaw at the flame zombie's internal organs. Enraged, the flame zombie ripped the speed zombie's head off, reignited its flames with its hands, and used brute force to crush the speed zombie's skull. The speed zombie was dead beyond any doubt, and the fire zombie was also on the verge of death due to a severe abdominal injury. Let's do it. Su Chen issued orders in an instant. The other 5 men, their fighting spirit soaring, grabbed the fancy weapons they had prepared beforehand, such as modified stools and table legs, and started hitting people in the head with every move. In just a few dozen seconds, the group that had formed an attack formation in advance took down more than 10 level 1 zombies. Despite the pain in his thigh, Su Chen rushed to the flame zombie and began smashing the stool in his hand against its head. Roar, the fire zombie swung its arm, sending Su Chen flying several meters, crashing heavily into the tempered glass. The glass didn't break this time, but Su Chen, lying on the ground, coughed up a mouthful of blood, his stomach churning. Brother Chen, the fat man shouted, dropping the table leg and rushing towards Su Chen with his teammates. Fuck you, one of the boys blurted out. A gap appeared in the formation, and the zombies instantly broke through the group's ranks, plunging them into a life or death crisis, surrounded by enemies on all sides. You fat bastard, I'll curse your ancestors. The other boy was hitting and cursing at the same time, clearly hating the fat man. Brother Chen, are you all right? The fat man quickly helped Su Chen up, his intelligent little eyes looking at Su Chen with concern. Su Chen was so angry he felt like his bird was hurting. He was touched by the fat man's actions, but he also really wanted to send his regards to the fat man's family. Brother Chen, are you all right? Don't scare me. The fat man looked at Su Chen anxiously. I'm fine, you go and help them stop the zombies. But Brother Chen, the fat man still didn't want to leave. Hurry up or we'll all die here, Su Chen roared. Okay, Brother Chen, don't be angry. I'll go right away. Hang in there, I'll be back to help you soon. Go quickly, Su Chen was somewhat speechless. While the two were chatting, the 4-person team outside the building suddenly became a 3-person team, and the zombies surrounded them, putting them in immediate danger. Looking at the few people outside who couldn't help, Su Chen smiled bitterly. Relying on the incredible willpower he had developed in his previous life, he got up once again. He grabbed the stool next to him and charged toward the fire zombie. Clang, clang, smack, clang, clang, smack. Several times in a row, Su Chen was whipped away by the fire zombies that had temporarily lost half of their mobility. When Su Chen reached the flame zombie for the 13th time, the flame zombie, relying on its powerful self-healing ability, barely regained its mobility. It slapped Su Chen away, then slowly got up and staggered towards Su Chen. Outside the building, the three-man team lost another member. The other two were exhausted, but were still forced to fight back against the zombies. The fat man was forced to retreat to a corner of the building by 5 or 6 zombies, barely managing to protect himself by relying on the terrain. Some zombies rushed into the building, but the fire zombie roared, "Ow!" And the zombies that rushed in had no choice but to stop and watch as their king took action himself. The flame zombie's eyes revealed a hint of intelligent mockery as it looked at Su Chen, as if he were a lamb to the slaughter. This insect dared to smash his hideous face into a bloody mess. It's unforgivable. He absolutely had to. He absolutely had to kill that bug. As the fiery zombies drew ever closer, Su Chen cried out in his heart, "I, Su Chen, have roamed this apocalypse for 8 years. How could I possibly fall here?" Ugh. The infernal flame ability suddenly erupted, and the powerful energy actually allowed Su Chen to break through to the early stage of the first rank. Die! Su Chen unleashed a burst of blazing flames. The flame zombie was already at its last gasp, its physical strength and abilities exhausted. Coupled with a moment of carelessness, it failed to dodge and was killed on the spot by Su Chen. "Ha ha ha!" Su Chen let out a wild laugh. "Brother Chen, save me!" The fat man cried out for help as soon as he heard the commotion. Upon hearing the fat man's voice, Su Chen immediately grabbed a broken stool from the side and charged into the zombie horde, as if a mop covered in excrement could kill anyone it poked. "Ha ha ha, that's awesome!" With each move, brains flew everywhere, and Su Chen quickly dealt with more than 40 low-level zombies. After smashing the last zombie's head, Su Chen turned around with an extremely dashing air, tossing his greasy, smelly hair in what he considered a cool manner. "Fatty, don't idolize me, I'm just a legend." "Really?" A familiar voice came from inside. Suddenly, a chilling watermelon knife appeared at Su Chen's neck. "P.S. Don't miss out. The author is online asking for likes and small gifts to encourage updates. Tylettery05, symbol 333, symbol 333, Tylettery05. Chapter 59, Young Master Li, I have a plan. Feeling the endless chill emanating from the blade, Su Chen cautiously turned his head. "Li Feiyu, it's Li Feiyu again." "Su Chen, we meet again." Li Feiyu greeted Su Chen with a smile. Su Chen stared intently at Li Feiyu, his face extremely gloomy. "Li Feiyu, don't go too far." With a flick of the watermelon knife, a very shallow wound appeared on Su Chen's neck, from which blood slowly flowed out. Seeing this, the fat man hurriedly shouted, "Li Feiyu, put down the knife. We can give you whatever you want." Li Feiyu looked at Su Chen with a mocking expression and said quietly, "All right, the same old rules, hand over the crystal core." Without hesitation, the fat man said, "Okay, I'll give you all the crystal cores, but you have to promise to release Brother Chen." Li Feiyu nodded slightly, "Okay." Although Li Feiyu really wanted to say, "Foolish, even if I kill you, the stuff will still be mine." Su Chen's luck was currently at its peak, and ordinary methods would not be able to kill Su Chen at all. Even if Li Feiyu were to pay a huge price to kill Su Chen's body, there is still a high probability that Su Chen would be resurrected. If Su Chen were to be resurrected on the other side of the ocean, things would become complicated. Given the dangers of the ocean, at least a 5th-tier level of combat capability is needed to confidently overcome the resistance from the deep sea and forcefully cross the vast ocean. "Okay, I'll dig out all the crystal cores for you right away." The fat man nodded in agreement. "If the crystal core is gone, you can earn another one, but if your brother is gone, then it's truly gone." The other two, seeing this, exchanged a glance and joined the army of digging for crystal cores. A few minutes later, the underling who had gone back to fetch help arrived at Jumeng Tower with 6 of Li Feiyu's loyal men. Chen Dingyang, a blonde-haired man who called himself Xiao Wen, jogged up to Li Feiyu's side. "Young Master Li, you were looking for me." Li Feiyu nodded and ordered, "Go and collect the crystal cores together." "Yes, young Master Li," Xiao Wen and the others replied respectfully. With the addition of Xiao Wen and others, the efficiency of collecting crystal cores has significantly improved. In just half an hour, 81 first-order crystal cores, 37 pseudo-first-order crystal cores, and 4 second-order crystal cores were brought before Li Feiyu. "Young Master Li, all the crystal cores are here," Xiao Wen reported respectfully, carrying a bag. Li Xiao nodded slightly, and with a gentle wave of his other free hand, a bag of crystal cores disappeared into thin air. "Spatial ability, how is this possible?" Su Chen exclaimed in shock. Su Chen clearly remembered that in his previous life, Li Feiyu awakened a common lightning-type ability, which was powerful in attack. But Li Feiyu basically did not participate in battles and would only release lightning to show off. In this life, he, Su Chen, was reborn. He originally wanted to take advantage of the chaos to kill Li Feiyu in advance, but unexpectedly, Li Feiyu awakened the ability to not be discovered by zombies by chance and was spared his life. He tolerated the butterfly effect, but now that he saw Li Feiyu had gained another spatial ability, Su Chen couldn't hold back any longer. Known as one of the strongest support abilities in the apocalypse, the spatial ability makes him a top priority for protection in any base he joins, and one of the two most popular support teammates for outings. Why did Li Feiyu awaken 3 superpowers? Why, damn you God, I refuse to accept this, Su Chen roared inwardly. A dull thud rang out. Li Feiyu moved with lightning speed, delivering a precise chop to the back of Su Chen's neck, knocking him unconscious. "Li Feiyu, you clearly promised that as long as we give you the crystal cores, you will let Brother Chen go. We have already given you all the crystal cores as requested, so why are you going back on your word?" The fat man glared angrily at Li Feiyu, his fists clenched tightly, as if he might rush up and fight him to the death at any moment. Faced with the fat man's questioning, Li Feiyu remained very calm. He glanced coldly at the fat man and said in a calm tone, "I did promise to let Su Chen go, but I didn't say I would let Su Chen go unharmed." "You," the fat man trembled with rage. "What do you mean, you fatso? You better watch your tone, or who knows what might happen to Su Chen later." The fat man lowered his head and pleaded in a low voice. "Young Master Li, please have mercy and just let Su Chen go like he's nothing." "Young Master Li, I have a plan." Xiao Wen and Huang Mao stepped forward with wicked grins to offer their ideas. "Oh, tell me about it." Li Feiyu looked curiously at the blonde-haired man who called himself Xiao Wen. Xiao Wen walked up to Li Feiyu and whispered his plan to him. After listening, Li Feiyu gave Chen Dingyang a strange look, then took out several bottles of 521 super glue from the system space, and also bought a pack of Lao Si Nai super laxative oral liquid worth 100 villain points from the system store. There were 5 bottles in total, costing a total of 500 villain points. Huang Mao took the glue and laxative, walked to Su Chen's side with a wise look on his face, and called out, "Fatty, come and help me out." The fat man didn't know what the blonde guy was up to, but for the sake of his good brother Su Chen's life, he still jogged over. Li Feiyu quickly retreated to a distance of 5 meters, but kept his eyes on Su Chen in the distance. Seeing this, the other underlings quickly took out a handful of melon seeds and came closer to eat them. Snap! The blonde-haired man, who called himself Xiao Wen, suddenly tore Su Chen's already tattered clothes, leaving the crowd stunned. They quickly put the melon seeds into sealed bags. The blonde guy handed over a bottle of 521 super glue and looked at the fat guy. "Seal the door for your boss." The fat man's eyes widened in disbelief, but he couldn't refuse, so he reluctantly accepted the 521 super glue from the blonde-haired man. 3 minutes later, Huang Mao felt it wasn't enough, so he handed over another small bottle. The fat man lowered his head, took the glue, and muttered things like, "Brother Chen, I'm sorry," as he continued to fix Su Chen's back door. After the fat guy finished, the blonde guy handed him another bottle. "Fatty, it's your turn. I don't need to tell you how to do it, right?" The fat man felt a tightness in his anus, but for Su Chen's sake, he gritted his teeth and took the glue from the blonde-haired man's hand, trying to imitate Su Chen's appearance. Then the blonde-haired man took out 3 packets of Yule Dye from Laxation, super laxative oral liquid. 2 packets for Su Chen and 1 for yourself, understand? Just then, 2 other boys in the distance quickly walked up to Li Feiyu and said in unison, "Young Master Li, we've both come to our senses and will no longer associate with Su Chen." The 2 men trembled, truly terrified by the fate of Su Chen and the fat man. Following Su Chen meant not only going hungry for 3 days and 9 meals a day, but also enduring pressure from Li Feiyu. When danger arose, that fatso would simply abandon them. They'd had enough of this miserable life of constant fear. Li Feiyu nodded and said in a deep voice, If you leave the school, I can let you off the hook. Young Master Zai will leave the school now. The two thanked him repeatedly. They had already decided that as long as Li Feiyu would let them go, they would do anything he asked. Leaving the school, even though it was dangerous outside, was at least a way out. Even if they weren't killed by Li Feiyu, they would be killed by Su Chen's recklessness and arrogance. Their other two roommates were just killed by Su Chen's fat lackey. Then Su Chen didn't say anything, not even a word of blame to the fat man. After spending so many days together, they risked their lives for Su Chen, only to have half of them killed by Su Chen's henchmen. Su Chen didn't say a word of reproach to the fat man, clearly showing that he didn't consider them his own people. It's better not to associate with this kind of person. Watching the two figures disappear into the distance, a cold smile flashed in Li Feiyu's eyes. Given Su Chen's vengeful nature, no one who betrayed Su Chen would have a good ending. Li Feiyu didn't need to lift a finger. Su Chen would come over in a few days to clean house. Then we can promote Su Chen again, which will make Su Chen's public image drop another notch. Chapter 60, the trio of Su Chen sharing weal and woe. Seeing the fat man administering the medicine to Su Chen mouth to mouth, Li Feiyu quickly looked away and called over the blonde-haired man. Went, give me the other 2 packets of diarrhea killer. Here you are, young Master Li. The blonde-haired man hurriedly ran to Li Feiyu and respectfully handed him the remaining 521 super glue and Laxu super laxative. Li Feiyu only took the laxative, saying, I'll make you poop until you die, and left with the words, you can deal with the glue yourself. Then he walked past Su Chen and the fat brothers, smashed a tempered glass window, and went upstairs. Didn't Mu Zier choose Su Chen? Of course, she should experience the same treatment Su Chen received. Bang, bang, bang. Li Feiyu kicked the door down the floor where Su Chen's henchmen had been. Before long, Li Feiyu found the place where Mu Zier was lost in thought. Li Feiyu. Upon seeing the newcomer, Mu Zier instinctively stood up. You, what do you want to do? You, don't come any closer. Mu Zier kept backing away, afraid that Li Feiyu would do something indecent to her. Li Feiyu glanced disdainfully at Mu Zier, whose hair was greasy and shiny, whose clothes were covered in black and red bloodstains, and who looked disheveled. I haven't showered for days, and my body is covered in zombie debris. I probably haven't even wiped my butt in the last few days. Li Feiyu isn't some kind of pervert. He wouldn't stoop to eating shit. Li Feiyu stood at a distance, tossed the 2 packets of You'll Get Sucked super laxatives at Mu Zier's feet, and coldly commanded, eat it. Upon hearing Li Feiyu's order, Mu Zier felt a chill run down her spine, but she dared not disobey Li Feiyu's command, so she reluctantly picked up the pull you to death from the ground. Without even glancing at it, Mu Zier tore open the packet of Lao Si Nai, laxative oral liquid in her hand, and swallowed it whole. After finishing the drink, Mu Zier picked up the medicine packet to check. You'll die of diarrhea. This is a laxative. Mu Zier was so frightened that her face turned pale instantly. How could Li Feiyu be so cruel? Why did he treat her like this? She only saw Li Feiyu fall down and chose to run away instead of helping him, yet he has to torture her like this. Ruthless, Li Feiyu is really ruthless. Mu Zier collapsed to the ground in despair, tears streaming down her face. Why, it was clearly her parents who forced her into this marriage with the Li family against her will. She didn't like it. Was she wrong to resist? Having finally gotten a chance to get rid of Li Feiyu completely, she simply followed her free spirit and ran away in panic when she saw the zombies. She already felt very guilty, so why did Li Feiyu still blame her? Why didn't Li Feiyu die? Why? Li Feiyu didn't care what Mu Zier thought. Seeing that Mu Zier had completely swallowed the I'll kill you threat, he threw down a tampered screwdriver and turned to leave the classroom. In the original storyline, Mu Zier clearly witnessed Su Chen deliberately plotting to kill Li Feiyu, but later she helped Su Chen cover for him. It was said that Li Feiyu deliberately provoked the zombies, which led to him falling into the horde and being swallowed up by them. There were too many zombies for them to rescue him, so they had to retreat. Since Mu Zier was Li Feiyu's fiancée, and with the effect of Su Chen's brain-lowering aura, Li Feiyu's bodyguard did not doubt Mu Zier's words, but only promised to safely send Mu Zier back to Mu Zier's mother, Dr. Mu. Fearing a leak, Su Chen used Mu Zier as bait to kill all of Li Feiyu's bodyguards and lackeys. At the same time, he repeatedly rescued Mu Zier from danger, successfully winning her heart. Mu Zier was also very capable. Later, she happily took on the role of Su Chen's empress, helping Su Chen manage his 30,000 concubines in an orderly manner. Lizards, zombies, turtles, spiders, mothers and daughters, toads, pythons, whales. As long as Su Chen brings them back, Mu Zir can get along with them happily. She is truly Su Chen's most perfect and virtuous wife. Note, all fifth-order beings can fully transform into human form, and their intelligence level is the same as that of normal humans. Su Chen euphemistically called it, to resolve conflicts between ethnic groups and enable them to live in peace. So many people died in the apocalypse, and humanity finally managed to produce a large number of powerful individuals who could begin to take revenge and reclaim their territory. Yet Su Chen's words, peaceful coexistence, are meant to make all of humanity put aside their hatred. Why didn't you say, put aside hatred and live in peace, when you were beaten up before, Su Chen? Su Chen destroyed several human bases along the way, always claiming that others provoked him first, and he had no choice but to retaliate. When it came to Su Chen himself, he built a harem for various races and made others give up their hatred. He was a complete traitor. They didn't ask Su Chen to help them get revenge. They went on their own. Then Su Chen immediately jumped out and said that everyone should love peace and get along well. Friendly my ass. You, Su Chen, are living a comfortable life, receiving beauties from all ethnic groups and accumulating fame and benefits to the point of exhaustion. You're telling others to be magnanimous, to let go of hatred, and to let go of the past. That sounds really good to you. When he got downstairs, the drug had already taken effect. Completely naked, Su Chen was writhing in pain among the pile of zombie remains, clutching his stomach. His face was deathly pale. His eyes were so painful he couldn't open them, and tears kept streaming from the corners of his eyes. It hurts so much. The fat man next to Su Chen was in the same pain, feeling like he was dying, but he couldn't pass out. He could only consciously experience the extreme feeling of wanting to defecate, but being unable to. Upon unintentionally seeing Li Feiyu emerge from the building, Su Chen's eyes turned bloodshot with rage, as if they were about to burst out of their sockets. Su Chen wanted to curse Li Feiyu, but the pain in his stomach prevented him from making a sound, let alone venting his anger. Ding, the opportunity of the chosen one, Su Chen, was intercepted by the host, and he lost a valuable opportunity in the early stages. His strength has not improved much, and he has even fallen behind many ordinary people. His combat power is low. Deduct 10,000 of Su Chen's luck, and the host will gain 100,000 villain points. Ding, the host has reaped the benefits of the situation by forcefully seizing the opportunity from the chosen one right in front of him, causing some of Su Chen's underlings to have a change of heart and abandon their teammates to sacrifice themselves for Su Chen, indirectly disrupting some of Su Chen's subsequent opportunities. 8,000 of Su Chen's luck points have been deducted, and the host has gained 80,000 villain points. Ding, the host has successfully ambushed Su Chen, the chosen one of destiny, interrupting his boasting and turning it into a joke, making him look like a clown. Su Chen's mentality explodes, and he becomes incredibly angry. 8,000 of Su Chen's luck points are deducted, and the host gains 80,000 villain points. Ding, the host used his subordinate's brilliant plan to completely destroy the chosen one, Su Chen, along with his loyal followers. This caused Su Chen immense humiliation and indignation, causing him to explode with hatred and resentment towards the host. However, he was powerless against the host. 12,000 of Su Chen's luck points were deducted, and the host gained 120,000 villain points. Ding, the host allowed the chosen one of destiny, Su Chen, to experience the ultimate in humanity, severely damaging the host's personal dignity. This caused Su Chen to successfully break through his defenses for the first time since his rebirth. 7,000 of Su Chen's luck points are deducted, and the host gains 70,000 villain points. As the system announcements rang out, Su Chen's luck plummeted once again, and he lost another 45,000 luck points. Li Feiyu successfully obtained a huge sum of 450,000 villain points. Take off, Li Feiyu exclaimed with delight. If attacking Su Chen's mentality can significantly increase villain points, then wouldn't it be great to do it a few more times? Heh tilde. Host, don't be delusional. The chosen ones generally become stronger with each setback, and the same experience will only have less and less effect. The only way is to constantly compete for the opportunities offered by the chosen ones and eliminate their right-hand men and main supporters. Okay, system, I understand. Only after being doused with cold water by the Destiny villain system did Li Feiyu finally wake up. Since the same methods are becoming less and less effective, the only option left is to come up with some new tricks after taking away Su Chen's opportunity, to break the last straw in Su Chen's heart. A small effect doesn't mean no effect, especially after Su Chen's psychological defenses collapsed. A fatal blow can often produce unexpected and surprising results. Downstairs, Su Chen and the fat man were still writhing in pain. Upstairs, the leading lady of the show, Mu Zier, was defecating on the ground. The entire Su Chen team shared hardships and were exceptionally united. Chapter 61, Apocalyptic Black Rain. All monsters get stronger. Not long after Li Feiyu and the others left, Su Chen, relying on the strong willpower he had honed during his 8 years of tumbling and crawling in the apocalypse of his previous life, managed to climb to the 4th floor where Mu Zier was. Zier! Su Chen, clutching his stomach with one hand and using the other to support himself, walked to Mu Zier's classroom. A stench assaulted the senses. Mu Zier was squatting on the table, her face pale. Their eyes met, and the classroom fell eerily silent, filled with an awkward atmosphere. Su Chen never expected that this aloof school beauty would do such a thing in the classroom, and Mu Zier never expected that Su Chen would suddenly appear. Su Chen quickly lowered his head guiltily, not daring to look. Mu Zier's originally pale face immediately turned red, even redder than a monkey's bottom. When Mu Zier defecated in public, she was so embarrassed that she wanted to disappear into the ground. What made her even more ashamed was that this scene was witnessed by someone she had a slight crush on, Su Chen. "I'm sorry, you. Continue." Su Chen stared at the floor with a dark expression, not daring to look up at the place he longed for. Mu Zier didn't know how to respond, and finally let out a soft hum, barely audible. Having been humiliated by 3 girls a few days ago, and now her most unbearable side exposed to Su Chen, whom she has some feelings for, Mu Zier felt like dying. Hiss! A loud sound shattered the quiet classroom, particularly jarring. But to Su Chen's ears, the sound was incredibly pleasant, an endless comfort like a witch from the abyss, constantly stimulating every nerve in his body. Su Chen couldn't help but imagine what it would be like if he could experience a cathartic release, just like the person who made that sound. After an unknown amount of time, Mu Zier, whose legs had almost lost all feeling, finally remembered Su Chen, who was huddled by the door. Remembering the screwdriver Li Feiyu left behind when he left, Mu Zier suddenly realized something. "Su Chen, hang in there, I'm coming to help you." Su Chen was sweating profusely from the pain, but he still managed to nod frantically with the last bit of strength he had left. Despite her near collapse, Mu Zier picked up a screwdriver from a short distance by the door and walked shakily behind Su Chen. "Same as chrysanthemums withered, wounds scattered everywhere. Your smile." Suddenly, a screwdriver started playing a devilish melody. Ding! Under the host's design, the chosen one Su Chen was subjected to the 1,000 years of kill by the chosen heroine Mu Zier, causing his mental state to collapse. His eyes involuntarily shed tears of joy and pain, and he felt a strange sense of pleasure. 3,000 of Su Chen's luck points are deducted, and the host gains 30,000 villain points. Li Feiyu, who was far away in the girls' dormitory, suddenly received a sum of money. 30,000 villain points. Just as the system said, Su Chen has developed resistance. It seems I still need to leave Su Chen some opportunities and scraps in the near future, so he can regain some confidence, Li Feiyu thought to himself. Tomorrow will be the 10th day of the apocalypse, the day the first black rain of the apocalypse will appear, and the whole world will undergo another far-reaching change. Countless zombies are advancing in rank, and strange beasts and mutated plants are rioting all over the world. The dark ages of the apocalypse have arrived. Li Feiyu had no countermeasures for the major events in the original storyline. He could only try to avoid the risks involved. The Black Rain of the Apocalypse is a unique, supernatural, and large-scale event that occurs after the apocalypse, and it will happen simultaneously throughout the entire world. Most creatures will become stronger under the nourishment of the Black Rain, and even some people who did not originally have superpowers will awaken them. But that's not the scariest part. The scariest part of the Black Rain is that creatures with lower intelligence benefit more from it, while for humans, the benefits are negligible, and there's even a risk of turning them into zombies. Besides zombies becoming stronger, mutated animals and plants are another major threat to human survival. Large animals are relatively easy to spot, but small animals, insects, and plants are almost impossible to avoid. If something goes wrong, you might not even know how you died. After thinking for a moment, Li Feiyu finally instructed Sang Bio to inform everyone that they did not need to go out tomorrow. Sang Bio couldn't understand why the young master would give such an order, but the young master must have his reasons for doing so, and he only needed to obey the young master's command. Soon, the more than 30 survivors in the girls' dormitory received this bizarre order. However, no one thought much of it. The school has been mostly cleared out, and many people who have awakened their superpowers have successfully become first-level superpower users or reached the threshold of first-level superpower users. After several days of fierce fighting, everyone was exhausted and their minds were on edge. They definitely needed a rest. The next morning, as the sun rose slightly, a light drizzle began to fall. The rain was light but not heavy either, as fine as cow's hair, giving people a refreshing and tranquil feeling. "It's raining," a girl exclaimed happily. "No, this rain is the wrong color, don't touch it," another girl wearing glasses shouted hurriedly. The first girl quickly stopped her outstretched hand and looked closely. The rain outside was actually a pale black color. "What's going on? How could there be black water? There are no factories in our city." "Don't even mention the lack of factories. Even if there were, they would have stopped operating the moment the apocalypse began. Look at the sky, not a cloud in the sky. There's absolutely no chance of rain," the girl with glasses explained very seriously to her lovely roommate. "Sister Lee, do you really know what's going on with this rain?" Sister Lee, who wears glasses, shook her head and admitted, "I don't know, but there have been similar red rains in post-apocalyptic novels, which seem to be able to make zombies evolve." "Ah, no way." The girl who had initially reached out to catch the rain turned pale with fright. "Zombies are already so terrifying. If they evolve further, what will happen to them in the future?" Sister Lee thought for a moment and reassured her roommate, "I'm just guessing. It's not certain if that's really the case. Li Feiyu might have a kind of prophetic ability. He might know something." Recalling the order given by Deputy Captain Sang Bio last night, the girl named Sister Lee had a guess in her mind. Li Feiyu must have a similar ability to predict the future, but he could only predict good or bad fortune, which was why he ordered them not to go out. It was with this in mind that Sister Lee quickly called out to her adorable but clueless roommate. Two people share a dormitory room so they can look after each other. She didn't want this cute little girl to die young. As a water-type ability user, I will rely entirely on this little girl for my bath water in the future. If she really dies, I will have to spend crystal cores to buy it in the future. What a huge loss. Meanwhile, in an ordinary house outside the school, Su Chen looked bitterly at the black rain outside the window. "On the 10th day of the apocalypse that damned Li Feiyu, if it weren't for you, I'd be at the peak of the second tier by now," Su Chen cursed inwardly. Because of Li Feiyu's 2 robberies and ambushes, Su Chen barely managed to advance to the early stage of the first rank yesterday, while Mu Zir and Fatty are still at the level of ordinary people with superpowers. Now that the black rain has appeared, the Dark Ages have arrived, and the beasts, mutated plants, and zombies are several times more terrifying than before. And I'm already far behind those powerful figures from my previous life. It's infuriating. Su Chen grew angrier the more he thought about it, and in his anger he smashed a glass table next to him with his fist. "Su Chen, what's wrong?" Mu Zir ran out of the room worriedly. Su Chen quickly adjusted his mindset and casually explained, "It's nothing, I was just thinking about some unpleasant things from the past." Mu Zir nodded without saying anything. She knew what Su Chen was referring to. This incident was a dark chapter in their lives, a disgrace to them. Because of the double-row classroom arrangement yesterday, Mu Zir and Su Chen's relationship had improved. She gently changed the subject. "Su Chen, you should also rest for a while. Once the rain stops, we'll search the surrounding area to see if we can find anything useful." Su Chen gave a wry smile. "Okay. Although it's dangerous outside. If he doesn't go, the gap between him and Li Feiyu, as well as his enemies from his previous life, will only widen. Therefore, he has to go." Chapter 62, 3 Puppets Make a Show. Looking at the continuous black rain outside the window, Li Feiyu sighed. "The Dark Ages have finally arrived. System, why do you think there's such a thing as an apocalypse?" "Ding, the truth of the apocalypse. 500,000 villain points." "Then forget it, I wasn't really that interested anyway." Li Feiyu decisively gave up. Li Feiyu was genuinely shocked by the price of 500,000 villain points. He did have 500,000 villain points, but good steel must be used on the sharpest blade. Buying the truth of the apocalypse now was not worthwhile. There's a saying, something like, "Now is not the time for you to know." He's only at the peak of the 3rd tier right now, so even if he knew the truth, it wouldn't change anything or bring him any benefit. There's no need for him to know for now. Instead of aiming too high, it would be better to arrange a few opponents for Su Chen and properly polish him. According to the original plot, there was a beautiful female zombie in a food warehouse not far from the school. She was the second female lead that Su Chen subdued when he went out alone 2 months after the apocalypse. They later helped Su Chen on several occasions, and were an important force for Su Chen in dealing with the human shelters. Later, with Su Chen's help, she commanded countless hordes of zombies and created an undead army for Su Chen. She is one of the strongest female protagonists by Su Chen's side. If this highly intelligent female zombie protagonist were to turn against Su Chen, it would probably put a lot of pressure on him. System, can you check the information of Su Chen's female protagonist Yi Jueying? Ding, Yi Jueying's information. 60,000 villain points. 60,000. Upon hearing this number, Li Feiyu couldn't help but gasp. Finally, Li Feiyu gritted his teeth and said in a deep voice, "System, purchase Yi Jueying's information." Ding, 60,000 villain points deducted from the host. Congratulations, host, you have obtained Yi Jueying's life information. Name, Yi Jueying, formerly Yi Anan. Gender, female. 3D. Sensitive location. Current level, Tier 1 zombie variant. Background, Yi Anan, the illegitimate daughter of the Yi family, was bullied by them before the apocalypse. After the apocalypse, the Yi family used Yi Anan to threaten her mother into going out to search for food. After her mother's death, the Yi family considered Yi Anan useless and drove her out of the family. During her escape, Yi Anan was scratched by a zombie but underwent a mutation, retaining her consciousness. Later, she changed her name to Yi Jueying and led the zombies to destroy the Yi family. Current location. Yi family compound, real-time location, has been automatically entered into the real-time holographic location map. As expected, he wasn't in the warehouse where I met Su Chen. Yi Jueying is at the Yi family. He must have just finished his revenge. Li Feiyu felt secretly relieved. Fortunately, he purchased Yi Jueying's information from the Destiny Villain system and learned of Yi Jueying's whereabouts. Otherwise, this operation would probably have been a complete failure. After the black rain stopped, Li Feiyu gave Sang Bio a few instructions and then left the school, heading towards the Yi family villa. With the ability to impersonate zombies, Li Feiyu had no worries about zombies and arrived at the Yi family villa 3 hours later. Li Feiyu didn't enter the Yi family immediately. Instead, he found a place without zombies, opened the system shop, and found the substitute doll he had seen when he was bored. Superpowered substitute doll. 3,000 villain value, can perfectly simulate any superpowered being the host has ever seen, can be used multiple times. Upgrades require additional villain value above Tier 2. After confirming that the description was correct, Li Feiyu immediately said, "System, purchase 3 superhuman substitute dolls." Ding, a total of 9,000 villain points have been deducted from the host. Congratulations, host, you have obtained 3 superpowered substitute dolls which have been stored in the system space. System, how should I use this superhuman substitute doll? Hold the superpowered doll in both hands and silently recite, and visualize the substitute character. After listening to the system's instructions, Li Feiyu took out the superhuman substitute doll. He silently chanted in his heart, "Come out, you stupid chosen one of destiny, Su Chen." In an instant, the doll in his hand rapidly grew larger, transforming into Su Chen's ghostly form, standing motionless in front of Li Feiyu. "Greetings, master. My name is Su Chen, and I will always be loyal to you." Li Feiyu nodded and continued in the same manner. "Come out, you brain-dead Muzier. Come out, you fat idiot Yang Dawei." Soon Su Chen, Muzier, and Fatty appeared neatly in front of Li Feiyu. Their eyes, appearance, and biological information were exactly the same as the originals. If Li Feiyu hadn't cast the spell himself, he wouldn't have believed that the 3 dolls in front of him were fake. "You enter the Yi residence, find Yi Jueying, and then do this and that, and then do that and that again. Understand?" Li Feiyu explained the detailed plan. "Master, what does Yi Jueying look like?" the clever puppet Muzier asked. Knowing he couldn't explain it clearly, Li Feiyu quickly sought help from the system. "System, can you transfer Yi Jueying's photo to their 3 processors?" Ding, 100 villain points earned per attempt. Pass it on. Beep, a total of 300 villain points have been deducted from the host. Data transfer successful. "Go complete the mission." Li Feiyu waved his hand. "Yes, master," the puppet Su Chen replied first. 3 puppets scaled the wall and entered the Yi family mansion, instantly transforming into death butchers. Led by the puppet Su Chen, they quickly slaughtered all the scattered zombies in the Yi family. "Brother Chen, these zombies are so weak. I just waved my hand and they shattered. Ha ha ha." The puppet Su Chen commanded with a serious expression. "Don't be arrogant. Not all zombies are this kind of trash. Be careful, search for supplies as quickly as possible, and then leave." "Yes, Brother Chen, I'll definitely handle it perfectly for you." The chubby puppet patted his chest and assured him. Yi Jueying, who was in the main hall, also heard the commotion in the courtyard outside, but she remained unmoved. After killing the entire Yi family to avenge her mother, she suddenly lost her purpose in life and didn't know what she wanted to do. She looked neither human nor ghost, so she certainly wouldn't be accepted by other survivors. Everyone used to look at her with strange eyes, but now that she looked like this, it would be no different for her to go to other people. These zombies are less intelligent than dogs, and Yi Jueying, who has no life goals, has no idea what the meaning of her existence is. Suddenly, the gates of the Yi residence were broken open. "Brother Chen, come quick. There's a brain-dead zombie inside. It won't even attack people. It's so stupid, ha ha ha." The chubby puppet looked at Yi Jueying, who had changed into new clothes, with sarcasm. "Hey, fatty, it's true. This zombie is even wearing new clothes, tusk, tusk, tusk. Zier, come and see." The puppet Su Chen happily shared with the puppet Mu Zier. "Oh, you're here." The doll Mu Zier walked over quickly, feigning aloofness and nobility. With curiosity in her eyes, the doll Mu Zier commented, "Su Chen, it's true, this zombie's clothes are so clean. I really don't know how it turned into a zombie. They should do what we did with those beasts before. Drive their parents and relatives out of the house, kill their family members, and then choose to become zombies without pain," the puppet Su Chen said haphazardly, feigning anger. "Shut up," Yi Jueying stood up angrily. "Chen, brother Chen, this zombie can talk." The fat puppet was so frightened that he deliberately moved closer to the puppet Su Chen. "I didn't hurt my mother, apologize to me now." Yi Jueying glared angrily at the puppet Su Chen, still clinging to human instincts. The zombie Yi Jueying decided to reason with these three unreasonable and arbitrary individuals. The puppet Su Chen feigned surprise. "Oh, zombies can be innocent. Fatty, do you believe that?" The chubby puppet shook its head and said firmly, "Brother Chen, I don't believe it." The puppet Su Chen turned to look at the puppet Mu Zier again. "Zier, do you believe it?" "I don't believe it," the doll Mu Zier replied coldly. The puppet Su Chen shook his head helplessly, looked fiercely at the thin Yi Jueying, and explained to everyone in a righteous tone, "A zombie is always a zombie. Once a zombie, always a zombie. They are all man-eating monsters. Yes, brother Chen, we should kill all man-eating monsters like zombies to prevent future troubles." The chubby puppet chimed in enthusiastically. "Su Chen, hurry up and finish this off. These zombies that retain intelligence will only cause trouble if left unattended," the puppet Mu Zier coldly suggested. "Okay," the puppet Su Chen agreed gently. "P.S. Please give me some encouragement to update and support me out there. Black Circle v. Black Circle. Chapter 63, Infamy Spreads Far and Wide. Infernal flames, the puppet Su Chen roared. His arm was quickly covered by a layer of bewitching flames, as if it came from purgatory, revealing endless killing intent. Yi Jueying stared warily at the ordinary-looking man in front of her, ready to run away at any moment. Yi Jueying sensed an unprecedented danger emanating from the other party. The puppet Mu Zier and the puppet Fatty exchanged a glance and silently surrounded the zombie Yi Jueying, blocking his escape. The puppet Su Chen's lips curled slightly as he fearlessly strode towards the zombie Yi Jueying, muttering disdainfully, "An intelligent zombie. I wonder if its crystal core is any good." As the puppet Su Chen slowly approached, Yi Jueying kept retreating until she hit the wall and had nowhere left to go. Driven by extreme terror, the zombie Yi Jueying instinctively let out a loud roar. Roar. The puppet Su Chen instinctively covered his head, and the flames on his arms vanished instantly, as if he had suffered a severe mental attack. Of course, it was all an act, taking advantage of the puppet Su Chen's injury. Yi Jueying quickly pushed the puppet Su Chen down and rushed out of the main hall at top speed. "Hiss!" The puppet Su Chen staggered and lay down again, roaring angrily with a grim face. "Chase her! All of you chase her! Don't let this woman get away!" The puppet Mu Zier and the fat puppet exchanged a glance and found that there was a hidden smile in each other's eyes. Number 1, puppet Su Chen, was acting too well. Without hesitation, the puppet Mu Zier and the fat puppet exchanged a brief glance and rushed out of the main hall according to the algorithm's delayed process, closely following Yi Jueying. The puppet Su Chen stayed in the main hall of the Yi family for a few seconds before rushing out of the Yi residence and chasing after the three people in the distance. Ice spikes. With a cold expression, Mu Zier unleashed a series of ice spikes, significantly slowing down the zombie Yi Jueying's speed. Yi Jueying was not to be outdone. He kept summoning zombies to block the woman and fat man behind him while observing the surroundings, trying to use the terrain to kill the three superhumans behind him. Unfortunately, the villa area was still quite a distance from the city, and there was no suitable terrain for Yi Jueying to use. There were also not many scattered zombies around, so the forces she could mobilize were becoming fewer and fewer. Before long, the zombies around them were dealt with by the puppet Mu Zier and the other puppet, and the puppet Su Chen also took the opportunity to throw out a fireball. Ah, Yi Jueying let out a scream. The blazing flames of purgatory can scorch the spirit, bypassing Yi Jueying's nervous system before it can recover, and directly attacking the source of his spirit. The intense pain caused Yi Jueying to lose her balance and fall heavily to the ground. The dead skin tissue on her body was rubbed to pieces by the ground, revealing large areas of black and red flesh, which looked horrifying. Bang! The puppet Su Chen stomped on Yi Jueying's head, and the force caused Yi Jueying's hard skull to collide heavily with the road. However, zombies do not feel pain, so Yi Jueying did not feel any pain. Run, why did you stop running? Weren't you so capable? Show me how you can run again. The puppet Su Chen smirked, looking disdainfully at Yi Jueying beneath his feet. Yi Jueying clenched her fists, her dark pupils filled with hatred. Although she was currently without pain, the painful memories hidden deep within her mind might resurface at any moment. A roar echoed deep within his mind. Kill him, kill everyone who has wronged you. All humans deserve to die. The doll Mu Zier, panting softly, walked up to the doll Su Chen. Su Chen, let's begin to avoid any unforeseen complications. The puppet Su Chen picked up a sharp dagger and stabbed it fiercely at the location of the zombie's crystal core. Ow! Suddenly, the roars of zombies came from not far away. Brother Chen, it's bad. It's a horde of zombies. Run! The fat puppet exclaimed in alarm. It's too late, Su Chen. Kill this zombie. We need to get out of here. The puppet Mu Zier shouted anxiously. The puppet Su Chen's face also showed fear. He stabbed the dagger down hard, swung it slightly, and then pulled it out. In a panic, he led the other two to flee in another direction. The dagger didn't touch Yi Jueying's crystal core, but her brain tissue suffered severe damage, temporarily rendering her unable to move. As Yi Jueying lay dying, the mental crystal core in his mind quickly released its power, and its powerful self-healing ability began to repair itself. In a hazy vision, she seemed to see a mysterious person wearing a mask. The mysterious person pried open her mouth, inserted a colorless, hard object, and then she lost consciousness. When she woke up again, the moon was high in the sky, its light bright and clear. Yi Jueying sat blankly on the road, her injuries completely gone. Am I not dead? Yi Jueying murmured to himself, gazing at the moon. Many questions arose in Yi Jueying's mind. Who was that masked man? Why did he save her? How could that masked man control so many zombies at once? What was he going to do? After pondering for a long time, Yi Jueying still couldn't figure out what the mysterious masked man wanted to do. Back in the afternoon, Li Feiyu stuffed a tampered second-tier attribute-less crystal core into Yi Jueying's mouth to speed up Yi Jueying's recovery. Next, Li Feiyu directed the zombies to clear away any potential dangers in the surrounding area, and then led the zombies towards the city center. Li Feiyu's goal was simple: to help clear out the Starlight City supermarket and to get some weapons and ammunition from the Law Enforcement Bureau headquarters to strengthen his team. When the apocalypse broke out, electricity suddenly disappeared without explanation, and all high-precision equipment suddenly became unusable, but most conventional weapons were still usable. In the early stages of the apocalypse, firearms, aside from being loud and attracting zombies, were still quite lethal. At the same time, following their master's orders, the three puppets slowly made their way toward where Su Chen and the others were hiding. Along the way, the trio of puppets used their bio-radar to rob weak survivors who ventured out, stealing half of their supplies. When they encountered someone without supplies, the three of them would beat them up, deliberately revealing their identities and declaring that they should come back for revenge if they dared. In any case, whenever they discover other survivors, the puppet trio will go up and draw a lot of hatred for Su Chen and the others, and leave their names. Su Chen's name began to radiate outwards, but it was a bad name. On the other side, at the Yixianshan base, a dignified, middle-aged version of Li Feiyu sat at the head of the table. He was Li Feiyu's father, the commander-in-chief of the three armies, Li Yunshan. Have the zombies around the base been cleared yet? Commander, the surrounding zombies have all been cleared out, a uniformed officer reported loudly. Li Yunshan nodded, as if all of this was within his expectations. Have you noticed any other unusual situations? 10 days ago, the apocalypse suddenly descended, and 80% of the people around him turned into bloodthirsty monsters. Li Yunshan quickly made a judgment and led his subordinates to quell the crisis at the command center. Then various orders were issued, and the zombies in the Yishianshan military base were quickly dealt with. Through research, researchers discovered an unknown crystal in the brains of the mutated individuals, with the crystal nucleus possessing a completely new and unknown high-purity energy. Meanwhile, most people in the army awakened special abilities, and reports on these abilities were compiled and sent to Commander Li Yunshan. After 3 days of research, the researchers figured out the purpose of the crystal core and named it the crystal core, while the special ability was defined as a superpower. Based on their attributes and uses, superpowers are temporarily categorized as follows: elemental superpowers, heterogeneous superpowers, special superpowers, support superpowers, defensive superpowers, offensive superpowers, healing superpowers, and self-enhancement superpowers. Because our understanding of superpowers is still insufficient, this classification is only a temporary and general one, intended only for the convenience of statistics. Li Yunshan naturally also possessed supernatural abilities, specifically wind and thunder abilities, and had a sufficient supply of crystal cores. A day ago, Li Yunshan successfully advanced to the early stage of the second tier. Having just repaired the helicopter yesterday evening, Li Yunshan plans to send 3 elite special operations teams to Starlight City today to rescue his son and future daughter-in-law, who are both students. However, an unknown black rain fell this morning. The composition of the black rain is still being analyzed, and the rescue plan has to be temporarily shelved. Reporting, Commander, no abnormalities have been detected so far, an officer reported loudly. Li Yunshan nodded calmly. Don't let your guard down. Keep a close watch on the plants and animals. Report to me immediately if you find anything. Yes, Commander. Chapter 64, since we're already here, let's send Su Chen a rocket. After dealing with the zombies, Li Feiyu quickly arrived at the Starlight City Law Enforcement Headquarters. The building's main entrance was blocked from the inside, and the windows were open, but it was estimated that traps had been set up inside. We cannot force our way in. Captain, there are more people outside, a law enforcement officer reported quietly. Get your guns ready. If they try to force their way in, shoot them dead, the captain ordered sternly. Captain, but there's only one person there, and he's a stranger, seems to be a student, the officer added. Students, the captain was clearly taken aback. On the 10th day of the apocalypse, with bloodthirsty zombies everywhere, how could anyone possibly get past countless monsters and arrive at the law enforcement headquarters alone? After a moment of contemplation, the captain analyzed in a deep voice. Ignore it. This person is likely a new trap set by the World Destroyer gang. Understood, Captain. The team members quickly relayed the captain's orders to the other teammates, urging everyone to remain vigilant and pay close attention to the movements of the person downstairs. Downstairs, Li Feiyu glanced at it casually, then turned and left. Not long after he left, a group of shirtless men came from the other side and started shouting and cursing downstairs at the law enforcement headquarters. But none of this concerned Li Feiyu. Li Feiyu walked through the alley and arrived at a large shopping mall. The mall was in chaos, with zombies everywhere. Li Feiyu went straight into the mall and quickly put the usable items into his system space. Following this method, Li Feiyu went to several large supermarkets and bought up all the usable items to replenish the inventory. System, can you retrieve objects remotely? Sure, but you need villain points. Well, all right, Li Feiyu sighed, having no choice but to abandon his idea of taking the weapon through the wall. Late at night, Li Feiyu returned to the vicinity of the school, but instead of going directly back to the school, he went to the vicinity of Su Chen's residence. Checking the puppets' locations, Li Feiyu discovered that the 3-man puppet team wasn't far from his position. He decided to remotely continue issuing commands to the puppets, instructing them to go to the nearby survivor camps and continue creating minor troubles. System, how many villain points does the rocket launcher have? Standard rocket launcher, 3,000 villain points. System, give me a shot. Ding, 3,000 villain points deducted from the host. Congratulations, host, you have obtained a standard weapon, a rocket launcher. Li Feiyu decisively retrieved the rocket launcher from the system space, loaded it, aimed, and fired. Suddenly, Su Chen felt a huge crisis in his sleep and woke up with a start. Boom! A loud explosion rang in Su Chen's ears. The wall collapsed instantly, burying Su Chen under the rubble. Attracted by the sudden loud noise, the surrounding zombies roared and surged madly toward the direction of the explosion. Brother Chen, The fat man was the first to crawl out of the rubble, shouting anxiously. "Stop yelling! I'm right under your feet, you're stepping on my hand!" Su Chen roared, his face ashen, his face full of black lines. "Who the hell is it? Who the hell has a rocket launcher? Why aren't they keeping quiet in the middle of the night, blowing up houses for fun?" Su Chen roared inwardly. Upon hearing Su Chen's voice, the fat man finally realized what was happening, quickly moved his feet away, and asked with concern, "Brother Chen, are you all right? I'm so sorry I didn't see you down there. What are you standing there for? Dig me out now," Su Chen urged with a dark face. The fat man immediately sprang into action, quickly unleashing the powerful abilities of an Earth-type ability user. The soil on the ground began to flow, soon forming a large pit, from which Su Chen was dug out. Awu tilde. At this moment, the zombies that were nearby had already reached Su Chen and the others, letting out excited roars. "Fatty, hurry and rescue Mu-Zir. I'll hold off these zombies." "Yes, boss." Without hesitation, the fat man immediately turned and ran towards Mu-Zir's room. "Cough, cough." Mu-Zir coughed as she crawled out of the pit. "Fatty, what happened? Why did the house suddenly collapse?" "Ms. Mew, I don't know either. I was also woken up by a rock. Now is not the time to talk about this. Let's hurry up and go help Brother Chen." Mu-Zir nodded, and the two of them quickly ran to Su Chen's side and joined the battle. Before long, the three of them clearly felt that their superpowers were being greatly depleted. Panting heavily, Mu-Zir unleashed an ice spike, ending the life of a lucky zombie. She then suggested, "Su Chen, there are too many zombies around and we're unarmed. Let's retreat." "All right." Su Chen threw a fiery hook punch and immediately gave the order to retreat. "Zir, fatty, let's retreat from the northwest." "All right, Brother Chen." The fat man kicked down a zombie and decisively followed Su Chen and Mu-Zir. Su Chen and his two companions fled, pursued by a horde of zombies. They tried to escape, but the zombies chased after them, leaving them no way to get away. Tonight is destined to be a sleepless night. Ding, the host used a rocket launcher to ambush Su Chen, the chosen one of destiny, blasting him into the ground and causing him to be chased by a horde of zombies for no reason. Su Chen felt extremely frustrated and aggrieved. 1,000 of Su Chen's luck points were deducted, and the host gained 10,000 villain points. Li Feiyu put on a mask and leisurely blended into the horde of zombies, silently watching Su Chen and the others in the darkness. "System, can you directly recycle these crystal cores?" "Okay, but the recycling price for automatically picked up items is only 1/3. "Let's recycle it," Li Feiyu agreed without hesitation. "Auto pickup function enabled." Chen Zhou responded with a reply, and then released a special law force field. Any crystal core within the law force field was instantly refined. Chen Zhou took 2 extra of the 5 crystal cores, and 2 of the remaining 3 were for the automatic pickup function, which was very reasonable and a win-win situation. As time went on, Li Feiyu's villain value increased at a snail's pace. How come Su Chen is killing so slowly and the drop rate is so low? He's supposed to be the chosen one, but after killing for so long, he only has this many crystal cores. He's really pathetic. Li Fei looked at Su Chen's back with disdain. While complaining, Li Feiyu subtly directed the zombies to steer Su Chen and his companions in the direction they were fleeing, driving Su Chen toward Yi Juying's location. "Damn it, these zombies just won't stop." Su Chen was extremely displeased. He, a reborn individual who had survived for 8 years in the post-apocalyptic world, never imagined that one day he would be chased around by a group of first-tier zombies. "Damn low-level zombies, one day I, Su Chen, will slaughter you all," Su Chen secretly vowed in his heart. In Su Chen's eyes, these zombies had already found a way to die. "Su Chen, what do we do? There are more and more zombies behind us." A hint of resentment flashed in Mu-Zir's eyes. If she hadn't chosen Su Chen in the first place, perhaps she wouldn't be in such a sorry state now. "Zir, don't worry, there's a small group of survivors not far ahead. They have firearms. We'll be safe once we get there," Su Chen quickly reassured her. He had planned his escape route carefully beforehand. He didn't just pick it randomly. The Salvation Army was a relatively powerful survivor organization that he and Li Feiyu encountered after leaving school in their previous life. They were armed with AKs and had strong firepower. Although they were later destroyed by the zombie horde, it is only the early stage of the apocalypse now, and these people should only be in the early stages of their formation. "Su Chen, how did you know?" Mu-Zir asked in surprise. "I also possess a special prophetic ability which allows me to know some fragmented future events," Su Chen stated, his expression unchanged, uttering a pre-rehearsed explanation. "So that's how it is, Su Chen. I didn't know you had the ability to predict the future. Mu-Zir deliberately feigned sudden realization. In truth, she had already begun to doubt Su Chen's explanation. P.S. Please encourage me to update more frequently and support me out there. Black. Chapter 65, Su Chen got blown up again. A series of urgent knocks sounded on the door. I'm here, stop knocking. The middle-aged man with a buzz cut inside the room got up somewhat displeased. As soon as Boss Liu with the buzz cut opened the door, his subordinate at the door shouted in feigned panic. Boss, something terrible has happened. A huge group of zombies has appeared outside. What? Upon hearing about a horde of zombies, Boss Liu instantly woke up completely. Boss, the horde of zombies was lured here by those 3 bastards outside. The henchman hurriedly explained the situation. Damn it, Boss Liu couldn't help but swear. Quickly, notify everyone to engage in combat, recover supplies, and be prepared to evacuate at any time. Yes, boss. The underling quickly turned around and ran to inform the other brothers to prepare for battle. Within minutes, the Salvation Army arrived at the building entrance with weapons. Upon seeing the dense horde of zombies outside, everyone gasped in shock. Terrifying. Brothers, give them a good beating. Boss Liu gave the order. Bang banged. Tada. The Salvation Army unleashed bullets at the horde of zombies indiscriminately, attempting to stop the tens of thousands of zombies outside the door. The sounds of grenades exploding and bullets firing filled the air. The Salvation Army headquarters was engulfed in flames, while the number of zombies swarmed around it ever increased. Brother Chen, how come they have so many guns? The fat man asked in a low voice, still feeling uneasy. Su Chen, observing the zombies' movements in the distance, explained to the fat man without turning his head. This survivor organization is called the Salvation Army. Before the apocalypse, they were employees of an armed escort company, which is why they possess weapons. Unbeknownst to him, he inadvertently revealed too much. Oh, I see, the fat man suddenly realized. Brother Chen, then if we join them, will we be safe? More or less, Crewhead Liu is a very loyal person. He'll definitely take us in, Su Chen said confidently. Based on his understanding of Liu Kuntu, as long as he explained the function of the crystal core to Liu Kuntu and then demonstrated his own strength, he could become a guest of honor in the Salvation Army. With its own command, the Salvation Army will not repeat the mistakes of its predecessor and be destroyed by a medium-sized zombie horde. And then there's Li Feiyu. Once he gains a certain amount of influence, he'll make sure Li Feiyu knows how powerful Su Chen is. He'll let those who betrayed him know how foolish they were to choose Li Feiyu. A hint of doubt flashed in Mu-Zir's eyes as she looked at Su Chen, but she didn't point it out. Seeing that Su Chen was hiding so comfortably, Li Feiyu openly commanded several pseudo-first-tier zombies to pass by the place where Su Chen was hiding. Roar tilde. The zombie let out an excited roar upon smelling the scent of living people. Holy shit, Su Chen's heart sank. What bad luck. I never expected a crazy zombie to walk by. Within seconds, a large horde of zombies charged towards Su Chen and his companions, and a fierce battle was about to erupt. Infernal flames. Ice spikes. Whoosh 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 tilde. Small fireballs and ice spikes struck the zombies' heads precisely, killing them instantly, which filled the fat man with envy. Ice and fire powers are cool, unlike his earth power. Throwing small stones isn't enough to deal damage, and he can't move many large stones. He can only rely on his steel spine to fight zombies in close combat. Suddenly, a second-tier lightning-type zombie attacked from behind, spitting out a small ball of lightning at Su Chen. Oh no, Su Chen exclaimed in alarm. He had been careless and hadn't dodged. The zombie lightning ball struck Su Chen squarely in the vulnerable kidney area. The powerful destructive force tore through Su Chen's flesh, electrocuting his kidney until it was black. My kidneys! Su Chen lay on the ground, overwhelmed with grief, 2 streams of tears flowing from the corners of his eyes. Mu-Zir hurriedly unleashed several ice spikes to repel the lightning-type zombies and quickly arrived at Su Chen's side. Su Chen, are you all right? Seeing Mu-Zir's concern for him, Su Chen suppressed the bitterness in his heart and replied with a wry smile. No, it's nothing, just a minor scratch. Hearing that Su Chen was all right, the fat man not far away also breathed a sigh of relief. Seeing the ever-increasing number of zombies around them, the fat man retreated to Su Chen's side and shouted, Brother Chen, there are more and more zombies, let's run. Su Chen glanced warily at the lightning-type zombie that had ambushed him. Head towards the Salvation Army headquarters. The 3 immediately fought off the surging zombies and ran towards the side wall of the Salvation Army's main camp. The Salvation Army chose a building surrounded by high walls, which low-level zombies cannot climb over. If they can successfully scale the wall and enter the enclosure, the Salvation Army can help them draw away the level 2 zombies. Meanwhile, the Salvation Army fought their way back and had retreated into the building. "Boss, the explosives are all set up." One of the Salvation Army members quickly walked up to Boss Liu and reported in a low voice. "Very good." Boss Liu nodded slightly, a look of satisfaction on his face. Boss Liu turned to another subordinate and asked, "Have all the supplies been moved?" "Brother, all the supplies have been moved." After inspecting the building's rickety iron railings, Boss Liu decisively gave the order, "Withdraw." At Boss Liu's command, the Salvation Army members turned around, quickly went to the basement, opened the secret passage, and began their orderly retreat. The fastest runner in the team, Speedy, was left standing at the bottom of the basement stairs. He was waiting for the zombies to get into the Salvation Army building as much as possible so they could blow them all up. Time passed second by second, and the simple large bell that had been made upstairs continued to ring at its usual frequency. Su Chen and his two companions found a secluded balcony to hide on, but the second-tier zombie had already disappeared. "Brother Chen, why is there a bell ringing here? And the gunshots seem to have stopped too," the fat man asked, puzzled. "The bell tolls." Su Chen's brain, as big as a nucleus, was working at high speed. "Oh no," Su Chen suddenly realized something. "Quickly jump." Boom. Before Su Chen could finish speaking, the entire building exploded violently, and in an instant, flames soared into the sky and smoke filled the air. All the zombies perished in the inferno. The fat man instinctively raised a layer of mud for protection and curled up into a ball, but it was no use. The fat man, who had just stepped into the first level of superhuman ability, was still killed by the huge shock wave. Suspecting Su Chen, Mu Zier jumped over the wall 0.5 seconds before Su Chen could react. In the instant she jumped, she used all her supernatural abilities to raise a round ice shield on her back for protection. The next moment, she was blown dozens of meters away by the shock wave of the explosion, smashed the glass of a house, knocked a zombie locked in the room to death, and pinned it down, falling into a coma. Su Chen was caught off guard and was blown away by the powerful explosion. He crashed into the wall and fell to the ground, where he was buried by the collapsing wall once again. A steel bar pierced through Su Chen's previously charred kidney. Ding, the host has controlled a second-tier zombie to ambush Su Chen, the chosen one of destiny. The zombie electrocutes Su Chen's kidney, causing him to break down and be on the verge of tears. 8,000 of Su Chen's luck points have been deducted, and the host has gained 80,000 villain points. Ding, the chosen one of destiny, Su Chen, was critically injured by the Salvation Army's explosives while being pursued by the host. He is in a coma, and his kidneys are pierced with steel bars and roasted. 6,000 of Su Chen's luck points have been deducted, and the host has gained 60,000 villain points. Ding, with the host's participation, Su Chen's most loyal subordinate was accidentally killed by the Salvation Army. Su Chen lost an arm. 5,000 of Su Chen's luck points were deducted, and the host gained 50,000 villain points. Oh my God! Good heavens, Su Chen was accidentally crippled by a minor character's attack, and his most loyal buddy, Fatty, was killed in the explosion. Life is truly unpredictable. Chapter 66, Su Chen is all alone again. After an unknown amount of time, Su Chen awoke from the pain, hissing as the pain in his lower back temporarily immobilized him. "Fatty, come and get me out of here," Su Chen shouted at the top of his lungs. No response. Several excited roars came from above the ruins. Su Chen smiled wryly. It seems that this time he can only rely on himself to save himself. After resting for 15 minutes, Su Chen took a deep breath, used all his strength to tear open the flesh with the steel bar inserted, and endured the pain to move the steel bar out of his body. Hiss, ah! Su Chen gritted his teeth and used the infernal flame to stop the bleeding from his wound. After resting on the spot for another hour, with a loud bang, Su Chen broke the boulder that was pressing down on him and stood up from the ruins. Awuo! A few scattered zombies heard the commotion and limped towards Su Chen. 5 minutes later, Su Chen knelt on the ground, having already defeated all the zombies around him. Su Chen was panting heavily, his whole body soaked in sweat, and he was exhausted. "Fatty, hang in there a little longer, I'm coming to save you." Su Chen gripped the crystal core tightly in his hand, quickly replenishing his almost depleted supernatural energy. The search lasted all afternoon, and by the time Su Chen dug out the fat man, he was already dead. "Fatty," Su Chen looked at the loyal fat man in front of him, and a bitter smile appeared on his face. I didn't expect that I still couldn't protect you in this life. Looking at the fat man's body, Su Chen calmly said, "Don't worry, fatty, I will definitely avenge you." After saying that, Su Chen dug open the fat man's dantian and took out the first-tier earth element crystal core inside. The human body's crystalline nucleus is not located in the brain, but rather in the dantian area below the abdomen, where the energy is purer and safer to absorb. Salvation Army, from this day forward, I, Su Chen, will fight you to the death, Su Chen secretly swore in his heart. If the Salvation Army hadn't carelessly planted explosives, the fat man wouldn't have been killed, nor would he have been maimed, and Zier wouldn't have gone missing. Thinking of Mu Zier, Su Chen immediately turned around, and based on his memory of the direction Mu Zier flew out, quickly ran to search for her whereabouts. He had already spent an entire afternoon searching for the fat man, which was more than enough. Mu Zier cannot afford any delay now. He must act quickly to find her, otherwise the consequences will be unimaginable. If he slows down even a second, Zier will be in greater danger. Thinking of this, Su Chen quickened his pace. However, Su Chen was destined to return empty-handed this time. Time returned to the morning, and Mu Zier slowly woke up under the sunlight. After last night's battle, all the zombies were lured to the Salvation Army's headquarters. The few zombies that survived were still wandering around the ruins, and there were no zombies around the houses. Upon opening her brain, Mu Zier found no crystal core and wasn't too disappointed. After resting for half an hour, Mu Zier carefully opened the door, checked the house thoroughly, and after confirming that it was safe, she found a clean set of clothes, washed herself briefly, and then left. After experiencing a series of unfortunate events over the past few days, Mu Zier finally decided to leave Su Chen and go find a safe survivor base. Following Su Chen, he went hungry for 3 days and was targeted by Li Feiyu. What was worse was that Su Chen seemed to be cursed with bad luck, and he was bombed twice in one night. Rather than following Su Chen and suffering misfortune to the death, it's better to go it alone. At least then you won't be so unlucky. And so Su Chen became a lone wolf again. Meanwhile, at the school, 3 special operations teams tasked with rescuing Li Feiyu appeared in armed helicopters over the girls' dormitory. Great, the army has finally arrived. Some girls cried tears of joy. We're finally saved. I want to change my clothes. I miss my mom. Don't worry, students, the army's rescue team has arrived. We're saved, we're safe. Everyone come with me out here. The male teacher, who had been so insistent before, straightened up again. Sang Baio coldly observed everyone's reactions without saying a word. Teacher, but... A little girl glanced fearfully at Sang Baio and the others not far away. What's there to but? The army has come to rescue us. We don't need to be subservient to those people anymore. Listen to the teacher, let's go, the male teacher urged confidently. Upon hearing the teacher's words, some students gathered around the male teacher. Seeing students running up behind him, the male teacher provocatively invited Sang Baio. Mr. Sang Baio, we're leaving. Aren't you coming with us? Sang Baio smiled and said, No need, you can go out first. Seeing the usually decisive and uncompromising Sang Baio back down, the male teacher felt a surge of joy. Like a victorious rooster, he led a third of the students, noses in the air, out of the building. We're here, we're here. The male teacher waved the bed sheet vigorously. Upon seeing people, one of the helicopters landed on the ground, and a team of well-equipped soldiers quickly disembarked. Great, sir, you finally arrived. The male teacher tossed aside the bed sheet and walked confidently to the soldiers. Who are you? The third squad leader asked expressionlessly. The male teacher's face stiffened, but he still answered truthfully with a polite attitude. Sir, I am the teacher of these students. Upon hearing that the other party was a teacher, the third squad leader's expression softened considerably. Excuse me, where is young Master Li Feiyu? Li Feiyu, the male teacher's mind was instantly filled with shock. These people are actually here to see Li Feiyu. What is Li Feiyu's background? Why would an army come to his rescue? Seeing the reaction of the middle-aged man who claimed to be a teacher, the leader of the third squad realized that this person was just an irrelevant person with no value. Just then, Sang Baio walked over, chatting and laughing. You've come to pick up the young master, haven't you? Who are you? The third team leader looked at Sang Baio with some confusion. Hello, my name is Sang Baio, the head bodyguard of young Master Li Feiyu. Sang Baio introduced himself with a smile. Upon learning that the other party was the young master's bodyguard, the captain of the third team softened his expression. I am Commander Li's personal guard 996. I have been ordered by the commander to take young Master Li back. Then you'll have to wait 2 more days. The young master went out to investigate yesterday and hasn't returned yet. What? The third team leader stared at Sang Bio in shock. Sending the young master out to search for supplies alone. What kind of bodyguard are you? Seeing the reaction of guard 996, Sang Bio quickly explained. Young master has awakened a superpower that makes him immune to zombie attacks. He's worried that we'll just make things worse, so he doesn't want us to follow him. After hearing Sang Bio's explanation, guard 996 breathed a sigh of relief, realizing that young Master Li was not in danger. Upon receiving confirmation, the third team leader immediately used a walkie-talkie to explain the young master's current situation to the 2 squads, and instructed the communications officer to report the young master's safety to the commander-in-chief. 11 days into the apocalypse, power was largely restored to the Yishianshan military base, and many communication devices were repaired, enabling communication with some other military bases that had also resumed communication. Through communication, the various military bases also received orders to begin rescue operations for survivors in the surrounding areas, with the bases as the core. P.S. Please give me some encouragement to update and support me out there. Chapter 67, no matter who causes trouble for Su Chen, Li Feiyu will definitely stand up for him. After the red dot representing Su Chen on the real-time holographic positioning map moved a sufficient distance away, Li Feiyu, who had been hiding not far away, walked out openly and slowly approached the corpses of the monsters that had been killed. He was carrying a sharp axe that gleamed with a cold light in his hand. Li Feiyu turned his gaze to the first zombie corpse and swung the axe in his hand without hesitation, precisely cutting into the zombie's head. Li Feiyu moved with practiced speed and skill. With a swing of the axe, a crystal core quickly appeared in his hand. Then Li Feiyu went to the second, the third. Each time he swung his axe, he could harvest a precious crystal core. Soon, Li Feiyu collected all the crystal cores exposed outside the ruins, not for any other reason than not wanting to give them away to Su Chen, who would be returning later. System, activate automatic pickup and exchange. Beep, the automatic pickup and redemption function has been activated. In an instant, Chen Zhou refined all the crystal cores beneath the ruins, transforming them into the purest source points. Once the rate of increase in villain value stopped, Li Feiyu's villain value stopped at 798,000, having increased by a total of 800 villain value since last night. Li Feiyu pondered to himself, including the losses mentioned by the system, there are a total of 2,400 first-tier crystal cores this time, which is close to a quarter of the total. That's a bit low. The drop rate outside the ruins is 100%. It seems that Su Chen's luck can indeed influence the zombies in the dark, causing the crystal cores to be concentrated when Su Chen has time to collect them. This chosen one of destiny is truly unreasonable. Li Feiyu couldn't help but complain inwardly. It seems that we still need to keep a close eye on Su Chen to prevent him from getting out of control. Li Feiyu was well aware of the dangers of being chosen by destiny. If he were to lose control of Su Chen, it could cause unnecessary losses. Having clarified his thoughts, Li Feiyu asked the system, "System, could you also add Mu Zier's location to the real-time holographic positioning map?" Ding, OK, requires 1,000 villain points. System, add Mu Zier's real-time holographic location. Deducting 1,000 villain points from the host, the real-time holographic location map has been updated, and the following characters have been identified. Su Chen, the chosen one, Mu Zier, the first female lead human, and Yi Jueying, the second female lead zombie. Seeing a green dot marked 1 on the map, Li Feiyu glanced at the map marker and realized that the green dot represented Mu Zier. Mu Zier's location was moving rapidly, heading northwest of the school, which was the direction Su Chen had left in. Zooming in on the map, Li Feiyu discovered an abandoned warehouse directly ahead of Mu Zier's direction of movement. Li Feiyu opened the live monitoring screen and found that Mu Zier was unconscious and being carried on the shoulder of a middle-aged man, clearly indicating that she had been kidnapped. "Second brother, this chick is hot. We're in for a treat," a lewd little dwarf drooled. "Seventh brother, can't you be a little more respectable? It's just a woman. Look at your face, you've never seen the world before." "Third brother, I've never played with superhumans before, but this girl is an ice-type superhuman. Just look at her face and you know she's top-notch." "Look at your lecherous face. You're a disgrace to the 10 brothers of Huangniu Road," Huang San said with disdain to Huang Qi. "Third brother, don't laugh at others for being just as bad. Ask yourself honestly, what do you really think of this beauty?" This, Huang San was speechless for a moment. Enough, shut up, both of you. We'll talk about this when Big Brother gets back. Until he's back, nobody's going to steal a bite. Huang immediately interrupted the two arguing. From their conversation, Li Feiyu learned the name of their organization. The 10 Brothers of Huangniu Road. It was a fancy name, and you could tell they weren't good people just by hearing it. No matter who causes trouble for Su Chen, I, Li Feiyu, will definitely stand up for him. Su Chen's idea of playing the hero and rescuing the damsel in distress. Forget about it. At the same time, based on his 10 years of experience searching in the apocalypse, Su Chen found the clothes that Mu Zier had thrown in the room. After a careful search, Su Chen concluded that Mu Zier had left on her own. Could it be that Mu Zier went to find reinforcements to rescue me? Su Chen boldly guessed. Zier is a young girl who has just come of age. Although she has awakened a powerful ice-type ability, she is only a first-level ability user. Her strength is only slightly greater than that of an ordinary person. She cannot move so many stones. Zier must have gone to find help. The more Su Chen analyzed, the more certain he became of this answer. Zier is such a kind girl. Su Chen gave a wry smile. Li Feiyu, how could you bear to bully such a kind girl like Zier? I will make you pay the price and get justice for Zier. Su Chen grew angrier the more he thought about it. However, getting Zier back is the most important thing right now. Thinking that Mu Zier was still unaware of his escape, Su Chen forced himself to calm down once more. Based on his 8 years of experience surviving the apocalypse in his previous life, Su Chen speculated that Li Feiyu's strength should be around the peak of the 2nd tier. He was no match for Li Feiyu now, and the matter of revenge had to be planned carefully. The most important thing right now is to catch up with Zier as soon as possible, tell her about my escape, and prevent Zier from owing anyone a favor. Calming down, Su Chen once again embarked on his journey to find Mu Zier, until he discovered signs of a recent fight. This is bad. These are marks left by Zier's ice spike attack. Su Chen's face immediately darkened, and a sense of unease welled up in his heart. Su Chen understood that these traces meant that Mu Zier had fought with the enemy here. Not far from the ice cone, Su Chen found a few more strands of Mu Zier's hair, as well as some bloodstains left from the fight. Su Chen's heart tightened, and he quickly stepped forward to check. He carefully picked up a hair, examined it closely, and confirmed that it was indeed Mu Zier's hair. Then Su Chen turned his gaze to the pool of blood, his brows furrowing. Su Chen gently squatted down, dipped his finger in the blood, and tasted it on his tongue. Fortunately, there was no scent of ice in the blood, so it wasn't Mu Zier's blood. Su Chen breathed a sigh of relief, but his worries did not lessen. Mu Zier was not injured, but all the evidence indicated that Mu Zier had been kidnapped. Damn it, Su Chen cursed angrily. Su Chen understood what the fate of women who were captured in the apocalypse would be. In the apocalypse, order collapses, morality and law cease to exist, and under the pressure of death, people are capable of anything. With Mu Zier's beauty. No, I can't give up, I have to hurry, only I can save Zier now. Su Chen immediately perked up. He quickly recalled the powerful forces that had existed around this place in his previous life. In the past, this place was home to more than a dozen survivor factions of varying sizes, including the Salvation Army, the 10 Brothers of the Yellow Ox Path, the Mutual Aid Society, and the Kitchen Knife Team. The Salvation Army was the strongest. Within a month of the apocalypse, it had absorbed all the surrounding forces. According to survivors who later escaped from Starlight City, the Salvation Army once slaughtered a faction and rescued more than 10 severely mentally unstable women and men. That faction seemed to be called the 10 Brothers of Yellow Ox Road. Su Chen's face instantly turned ashen. According to the timeline of this life, this organization has not yet been destroyed by the Salvation Army. In other words, the forces that kidnapped Mu Zier are most likely those scum from the apocalypse. No, I must rescue Zier as soon as possible. A resolute glint flashed in Su Chen's eyes. To successfully rescue Zier, we must improve our strength as soon as possible, at least to the mid-stage of the 2nd tier. The only place with crystal cores around is the ruins of the Salvation Army headquarters. Su Chen decisively turned around and ran towards the ruins of the Salvation Army's headquarters. Chapter 68, Su Chen also fell into the tiger's mouth. No, still no. Who stole my crystal core? Realizing his crystal core had been stolen, Su Chen went into a frenzy, barking wildly with his head thrown back. His hands were clenched tightly. His eyes were wide open and bloodshot, as if they were about to spit fire. Hey dog over there, stop barking. Don't you know you're making a racket? Suddenly, a detached voice came from afar. Su Chen turned his head sharply, and saw Li Feiyu standing not far away, looking at him with a face full of impatience. Li Feiyu was dressed in a black robe, with a tall and straight posture and an extraordinary temperament. His eyes revealed a kind of indifference and disdain, as if he didn't care about anything around him. Li Feiyu's gaze was fixed on Su Chen, and the corners of his mouth were slightly raised, with a hint of mockery. Upon seeing Li Feiyu, Su Chen almost coughed up a mouthful of blood. Li Feiyu, it's Li Feiyu again? Why is Li Feiyu everywhere? Every time I run into this bastard, I lose a lot of crystal cores. I hate it so much, Su Chen screamed helplessly in his heart. Ding, the host took the crystal core ahead of time and robbed the chosen one of Su Chen of an opportunity. The host also insulted Su Chen to his face, causing Su Chen's mentality to collapse and him to bark helplessly. 1,000 of Su Chen's luck points are deducted, and the host gains 10,000 villain points. Only 10,000 villain points? It seems Su Chen's resistance has really increased. Li Feiyu shook his head. Li Feiyu, give me back my crystal core. Su Chen looked directly at Li Feiyu with neither servility nor arrogance. Ha ha ha, Li Feiyu laughed, amused by Su Chen's thought process. Su Chen's face showed a hint of embarrassment, but in order to save Mu Zier, Su Chen still suppressed his displeasure and questioned Li Feiyu. What are you laughing at? Hurry up and give me back the crystal core. Li Feiyu looked at Su Chen as if he were an idiot. Su Chen, are you kidding me? You want me to get crystal cores? Why don't you go ask the zombies for them? And what makes you think I'd give you the crystal core? I killed these zombies, so the crystal cores rightfully belong to me. I just didn't have time to dig them up before, which is why they ended up in your hands, Su Chen said matter-of-factly to Li Feiyu. Li Feiyu, as long as you return the crystal core to me, I won't hold this against you. Su Chen's tone was very firm. Having no other option, unable to win through force, Su Chen could only pin his hopes on his silver tongue and try to find a solution from a moral standpoint. He endured it all to save Zier. How can you prove you killed the zombie? Do you have video footage or witnesses? Li Feiyu's lips curled into a cold smile, his eyes filled with disdain. Oh, by the way, why haven't I seen that bitch Mu Zier? Where did that bitch go? You didn't end up like that chubby kid, being used and discarded by you, did you? Li Feiyu deliberately feigned a shocked expression, his tone laced with sarcasm and mockery. Li Feiyu, shut up, I didn't kill Fatty and I didn't kill Zier. Zier isn't a bitch, Zier was kidnapped. Su Chen's heart clenched with rage. Ah, right. That bitch Mu Zier got captured and forced into mining and you're out taking a stroll by yourself. You really have plenty of free time. Li Feiyu looked at Su Chen sarcastically. Li Feiyu. Su Chen nearly suffered a cardiac arrest from Li Feiyu's sarcastic remarks. Seeing that Su Chen was about to leave, Li Feiyu suddenly changed his mind. Su Chen, wait. Didn't you want crystal cores? Here's what we'll do. Promise me one thing, and if you do it to my satisfaction, I can give you some first-tier crystal cores. Upon hearing Li Feiyu change his mind, Su Chen immediately stopped and turned to look at him. After thinking for a moment in order to rescue Mu Zier, Su Chen decided to ask first, what is it? Li Feiyu wore an undisguised mocking smile on his face. How about this, Su Chen? As long as you kneel down now, kowtow to me 13 times and bark like a dog a few times, and your performance satisfies me, I will definitely reward you with some crystal cores. HMPH, dream on. Su Chen snorted coldly and turned to leave. Since he couldn't get the crystal core, he no longer wanted any entanglement with Li Feiyu. Su Chen believed that with his intelligence, he would definitely be able to find other ways to save Mu Zier. Su Chen, you don't want the crystal core anymore. Looks like that bitch Mu Zier isn't that important to you after all. Li Feiyu's teasing voice once again reached Su Chen's ears. Su Chen clenched his fists. He endured it, he continued to endure it. Suddenly, a palm strike struck Su Chen squarely in the back. Damn it, Li Feiyu, you have no martial ethics. This was the last thought in Su Chen's mind. Su Chen was careless and didn't dodge. The next moment, Su Chen fell unconscious. Li Feiyu clapped his hands, took out a sharp dagger, and severed Su Chen's tendons in his hands and feet. Then he took out a long needle and poked it a few times into the crystal core in Su Chen's dantian, ensuring that Su Chen's crystal core is damaged but not completely destroyed. In the words of the Chosen One, is called no destruction, no construction. Chen Zhou glanced at it briefly. How similar this scene was. A single trick can be a lifesaver, it's indeed very practical. Half an hour later, Li Feiyu dragged Su Chen's body to the lair of the 10 brothers of Huangniu Road. Of course, to ensure that Su Chen's physical appearance was not affected, Li Feiyu spent some time retrieving the shopping cart he had taken from the supermarket from the system space. wedged Su Chen's feet, tied a rope to Su Chen's feet, and then dragged Su Chen and the cart to the entrance of the abandoned warehouse where Mu Zier was. "Who are you?" The two lowly guards standing watch at the gate stepped forward warily to ask. "I am a mysterious merchant from the Eastern Continent. I'm here to sell a fine item to your boss." Li Feiyu stated his purpose in a cryptic manner. The guards exchanged a glance and said, "Take off your masks and let us see." Li Feiyu resolutely refused. The mysterious merchant never takes off his mask. As he spoke, a powerful sense of oppression emanated from him. The lowly guards were nearly scared to death by Li Feiyu's aura and hurriedly said, "Your Excellency, wait. Wait a moment, allow me to go in and report." The mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, nodded and replied in a strange tone, "Go, but don't stay too long or I'll raise your base to the ground. You know what I'm capable of." The lowly guard suddenly felt a chill and could only reply with the words he'd heard in pre-apocalyptic TV dramas. "Yes, Senior. There's no way around it. The apocalypse has already happened, so it seems plausible that a mysterious merchant would suddenly appear. Who cares? It's the apocalypse already. If the sky falls, the tall guys will hold it up. They're just two gatekeepers, barely scraping by with their bosses, getting a little soup and a meal. There's no need to risk their lives." A few minutes later, Huang Er, the second in command of the 10 brothers of Huangniu Road, rushed to the warehouse door at lightning speed. Huang Er looked curiously at the mysterious man wearing a strange mask in front of him and asked in a nonchalant tone, "Mysterious merchant, what do you want to sell us?" "Watch your tone." Li Feiyu let out a cold snort, his voice revealing an irresistible authority. The powerful aura of the peak third rank surged towards Huang Er like an invisible pressure. Huang Er's face turned pale instantly, and a look of astonishment and fear flashed in his eyes. "Excuse me, esteemed mysterious merchant, I meant no offense. Please come in." Huang Er immediately adopted a welcoming posture. The mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, nodded, pointed to Su Chen behind him, and promoted his goods to himself. "This is the good stuff I brought, a first-tier mutated fire-type ability user. You can take him for a checkup." Huang Er pointed to the two small fry behind him who had opened the door and ordered, "You too, help the mysterious merchant carry the goods inside." Then he turned to the mysterious merchant, his face beaming. "Mysterious merchant, please come in and have a detailed discussion with me." Li Feiyu nodded and followed Huang Er into the long abandoned warehouse. "P.S. I went to harvest rice today and finally finished this. Please encourage me to update and support me with your love." Chapter 69, Transaction Successful. "Your Excellency, the mysterious merchant, our boss is still out. May I show you around our base?" Huang Er invited respectfully. The mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, pretended to be thinking, and after a moment of silence, slowly nodded in agreement. "That's fine, let me see what you have." "Please follow me." Huang Er gestured for him to come. Led by Huang Er, Li Feiyu followed him around the abandoned warehouse. "Mysterious merchant, this is our food storage room. It contains the food we've collected, including canned beef, canned fruit, rice, pastries, cured meat, flour." Huang Er tirelessly introduced their collection. These foods were the savings they painstakingly collected from residential areas. They were the hard currency of the apocalypse. The mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, nodded indifferently. "It's just food. I have plenty here." With a wave of his hand, a mountain of food appeared before him. Huang Er was startled, but remembering that the other party claimed to be a mysterious merchant, he was not so surprised. Having demonstrated his strength, the mysterious merchant Li Feiyu waved his hand again, and the mountain of food in front of him vanished instantly, returning to the system space. Gulp, Huang Er swallowed hard in shock. With so much food, if they could trade it, they would never have to worry about food shortages again. "I'm not interested in food. Take me to see other items instead," the mysterious merchant Li Feiyu said emotionlessly. "Yes, sir, mysterious merchant." Huang Er put on a fawning expression. The mysterious businessman is enigmatic, powerful, and possesses vast resources. We must cultivate a good relationship with him and establish a cooperative partnership. After witnessing the mysterious merchant's prowess, Huang Er took him to visit the weapons storage room, crystal core storage area, and many other places, but the mysterious merchant still showed no interest. As they passed a strange room, the mysterious merchant Li Feiyu stopped. "What's in this room?" Huang Er looked somewhat embarrassed. He hadn't expected the mysterious merchant to inquire about this place. Huang Er quickly waved his hand and laughed it off, saying, "The prisoners inside are what we captured. They're worthless. I want to trade these." The mysterious merchant Li Feiyu suddenly made his decision. "Mysterious merchant this?" Huang Er was speechless. Huang Er knew better than anyone what was locked in the room. The women they had captured during their recent outings, and quite a few of them. Huang Er never expected that this mysterious merchant would actually exchange that first-level ability user for these women, and that his attitude was so forceful that he couldn't refuse. The mysterious merchant snorted coldly, and a powerful aura pressed down on Huang Er. Feeling that terrifying pressure, Huang Er's face turned deathly pale, and he broke out in a cold sweat. He quickly lowered his head and replied in a trembling voice, "Mysterious merchant, I'll open it right away." Without hesitation, Huang Er rushed forward and opened the door in front of him. The large iron gate opened, and Li Feiyu saw more than a dozen women huddled in a corner of the room. Their bodies were trembling, and each of them was tightly hugging their legs, retreating as if they were trying to escape some terrible fate. Most of the women kept their heads down, trying their best to cover their faces, and dared not raise their eyes to meet the eyes of the people outside the door, for fear of being dragged out by them. The mysterious businessman, Li Feiyu, suppressed his anger and said in a completely emotionless voice, "Get dressed and come with me." "Mysterious merchant, you cannot." Before Huang Er could finish speaking, a powerful aura descended upon him. Sensing the danger of death, Huang Er immediately chose to back down. "Mysterious merchant, I agree to your terms of the deal. Get them some clean clothes, understand?" The mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, looked at Huang Er with icy eyes. "Yes, mysterious merchant," Huang Er reluctantly agreed. "What kind of nonsense is this? It's outright robbery, forced buying and selling." Soon, Huang Er brought the woman, who had changed her clothes, to the mysterious merchant Li Feiyu. "Mysterious merchant, here are the things you requested. I've brought them to you." Huang Er forced a respectful smile and handed over all the women in the warehouse to the mysterious merchant. The mysterious merchant looked carefully and found that Mu Zier was not inside, so he nodded and gestured for these people to come over. The women exchanged glances and silently walked behind the mysterious merchant wearing a strange mask. Although they didn't know what their future held, it was certainly better than staying in this hell. "Have you arrested anyone else? I hope you're not trying to deceive the mysterious merchant. I think you should be aware of his methods." The mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, warned again, uttering a chilling warning. Huang Er panicked and hurriedly ordered his men to bring up the other women and men who were being held in separate cells, including Mu Zier, who was too weak to stand. The mysterious merchant pointed at Mu Zier and said in a calm tone, "This person is not on the list. Take her back." "Huh!" Huang Er was suddenly startled, but the next moment he grinned from ear to ear and quickly ordered Huang Liu, the weak, superhuman who was in charge of guarding Mu Zier, to take Mu Zier away. Note Huang Liu's special ability, weakness. The transaction is successful. You can take the mysterious merchant's goods now, the mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, said solemnly. "Okay," Huang Er could only force a smile. The mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, acted as if he couldn't see anything and announced to himself, "The transaction is complete. The mysterious merchant should leave now. I look forward to our next meeting." Huang Er, on the verge of tears, escorted the mysterious merchant to the door, watching helplessly as the merchant took away the woman they had finally managed to capture over the past few days. The mysterious businessman, Li Feiyu, remained silent throughout the entire process. He led the 20-odd people behind him toward the location of another survivor organization, the Mutual Aid Association. The Mutual Aid Society, as its name suggests, is a friendly organization that helps each other. Its leader is a woman. In the original storyline, it was absorbed by the Salvation Army led by Su Chen. However, due to some ideological differences, some members of the Mutual Aid Society eventually chose to leave Starlight City and were never seen again. Li Feiyu's goal was simple: to send these people to the Mutual Aid Association. Let the Mutual Aid Association know about the scumbag behavior of the 10 brothers of Huang Niudao, and at the same time let the 10 brothers of Huang Niudao focus their firepower on the only two remaining, Su Chen and Su Chen. Because the 3 puppeteers who had been dispatched before had been active in this area, Li Feiyu quickly brought them to the vicinity of the Mutual Aid Association's headquarters. There's an organization called the Mutual Aid Society up ahead. It's a legitimate organization. You can go there yourselves, the mysterious merchant Li Feiyu introduced without any emotion. The group, now out of danger, exchanged bewildered glances. Mutual aid societies, can they be trusted? When they turned around again, the mysterious merchant had already vanished. After much hesitation, most women and men ultimately chose to believe the mysterious merchant who had rescued them. In the apocalypse, Those of them who have no means of resistance have no choice but to join survivor organizations. A few individuals decided to wait and see. Then the rest said goodbye and went their separate ways. Chapter 70 Queuing. As evening fell, Huang, who had been beaten up while out, angrily returned to the warehouse with his 5 henchmen. Huangda had several bruises on his face and several large footprints on his clothes, looking like he had just been beaten and was extremely disheveled. Seeing his elder brother's condition, Huang hurriedly went up to him and asked angrily, "Brother, what happened to you? Who beat you up like this?" Huangda said angrily, "Don't even mention it. When I went out this afternoon, I was ambushed by a bastard named Su Chen. He stole my crystal cores and supplies, and I also got beaten up twice. It's infuriating to think about this. That bastard was hiding in the shadows and ambushed us. He attacked us without saying a word. After the fight, they asked me if I'd ever seen a woman named Mu Zier, who specializes in ice-based attacks using ice spikes. I said I hadn't, and that bastard beat me up again, then stole all our supplies and crystal cores. What a damn jerk." As Huangda spoke, he rubbed the bruises on his body, his face full of anger. Upon hearing this, Huang expression suddenly changed, and he thought to himself, "Su Chen, isn't this the person that the mysterious merchant forcibly sold to us an hour ago? How could it be such a coincidence? Could it be that the Su Chen the mysterious merchant forcibly sold to us is the same Su Chen who ambushed our brother?" Seeing his second brother's change, Huangda asked curiously, "What? Did you also run into that little bastard named Su Chen?" Huang took a deep breath. "Brother, I did indeed meet someone named Su Chen." Upon hearing this, Huangda's eyes widened in surprise, and he exclaimed, "What? You were ambushed by him too?" Huang quickly explained, "No, brother, Su Chen didn't ambush me." Huang paused for a moment, then continued, "Su Chen is a mysterious and terrifying merchant from the eastern continent who was sent to the base. He said he wanted to make a deal with you, big brother. Since you weren't here, I was thinking of showing this guy who calls himself a mysterious businessman around the base. But the mysterious businessman took a fancy to the women we captured earlier and forced me to make a deal with him. I had no choice but to agree to the deal with the mysterious merchant. In the end, I obtained the man the merchant brought. After some interrogation, the man said his name was Su Chen and ordered me to release him. I ignored him and had Lao Liu cast a weak spell on him. He's currently being held in container number 2. After explaining Su Chen's situation, Huang added, "By the way, big brother, I also caught a very beautiful woman this afternoon. She's also an ice-type ability user, skilled at using ice spikes to attack, and she even injured Lao San. I wonder if this woman is the Mu Zier you mentioned." "Good, good, good. Second brother, have someone bring both of them up. I want to interrogate them myself." After hearing Huang explanation, Huangda slapped his thigh and cheered with delight. Upon hearing his eldest brother's order, Huang turned to the other brothers and said, "Seventh brother and eighth brother, you two take men to containers number 2 and number 1 and bring those 2 people over." "Yes, eldest brother, second brother," the 7th and 8th brothers quickly replied. The other core brothers brought over some chairs and sat down with Huangda and Huang to wait. 3 minutes later, Mu Zier was first dragged by the hair by Lao Ba and brought to Huangda. 2 minutes later, Lao Qi and Lao Liu carried Su Chen, who was unable to move his limbs, to Huangda. Seeing Mu Zier slumped on the ground, Su Chen couldn't help but exclaim, "Zier, what are you doing here?" "So it was you." Huangda stood up in surprise, then laughed and walked to Su Chen's side. "Ha ha ha. I didn't expect you two to actually know each other. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, and then it just happens to be right under my nose. Ha ha ha. Su Chen is the bastard who ambushed and beat up Huangda today. Huangda and his henchmen witnessed it firsthand. You know me?" Su Chen was a little confused. Su Chen had never seen this person in his past life, nor in this life, but the other party claimed to know him. How could that be possible? "Weren't you having a good time beating me up before? Why are you chickening out now? Playing dumb, do you think I'm an idiot?" Huangda glared at Su Chen with a dark look in his eyes. Glancing at the surrounding situation, Su Chen quickly suppressed his anger and said with a wry smile, "Brother, I think this might be a misunderstanding. I've never seen you before and don't know what you're talking about." All right, still playing dumb, huh? Mistress, go and secure them." "Yes, brother." Huang San stood up with a sinister smile. "Green vines entwine," Huang San shouted, and several green vines sprouted from the large flower bed around Su Chen. The vines grew upward along the spiral steel bars stuck in the flower bed, and after a few dozen seconds they extended outward, quickly wrapping around Su Chen and Mu Zier's limbs and waists, lifting their bodies into a just right position. Normally, no superhuman would fear Huang San's green vine entanglement, but now both Su Chen and Mu Zir have been affected by Huang Liu's weakness, ability, and Su Chen's limbs have been crippled and his crystal core has been damaged. Faced with Huang San's ability to make even superhumans laugh, Su Chen and Mu Zir found themselves unable to break free for a time. "What do you want to do?" Mu Zir cried out in a terrified voice. "What are you doing?" Huang De laughed loudly, stepped forward, lifted Mu Zir's chin, and said in a voice that everyone could hear, "What I, Huang De, hate the most is wasting things. I, Huang De, will pick out and eat every single grain of rice in the rice cooker." "You dare?" Su Chen glared at Huang De with murderous intent in his eyes. "Ha ha ha, brothers, he asked me if I dare." Huang De pointed at the immobilized Su Chen, laughing as he looked at the crowd. "Brothers, do you dare?" "Ha ha ha." The crowd burst into laughter, then answered in unison, "With our leader's orders, we dare to do anything." "All right, line up in the order you joined, one at a time." Huang De waved his hand, and the 20-odd people in the warehouse quickly formed a line. "Bastard, I'm going to kill you, kill you." Su Chen barked furiously at Huang De, his eyes bloodshot. Several people left, start a new team. "Big brother, I'm first in line." Huang Wu laughed and ran to the front. "No." Su Chen's hoarse voice echoed from inside the warehouse. 10,000 words omitted here. Ding, the heroine of destiny, Mu Zir, is being queued up in front of the chosen one of destiny, Su Chen. Su Chen's mentality is shattered, his eyes are bloodshot, and his heart is breaking. 20,000 of Su Chen's destiny points are deducted, and the host gains 200,000 villain points. Ding, even the chosen one, Su Chen, was lined up in front of the chosen heroine, Mu Zir. Su Chen's Dao heart shattered, his mental defenses collapsed, and he lost all face. He was too ashamed to face those who knew the truth. He was furious and mentally broken. 80,000 of Su Chen's luck points were deducted, and the host gained 800,000 villain points. Ding, the chosen one of destiny, Su Chen, has been sodomized again, suffering immense humiliation and tears streaming down his face. His already dead heart has died once more. 2,000 of Su Chen's destiny points have been deducted, and the host has gained 20,000 villain points. The host has gained 10,000 villain points. The host has gained 10,000 villain points. The host has gained 30,000 villain points. The host has gained 5,000 villain points. The host has gained 2,000 villain points. The host has gained 3,000 villain points. Ding, bystander Huang Liu, finding Su Chen's second brother, the chosen one of destiny, in the way, conveniently helped Su Chen separate himself from the chicken without anesthesia. Su Chen's face turned ashen. He was heartbroken, his mentality shattered, and his spirit collapsed. His last remaining hope was temporarily shattered. 30,000 of Su Chen's luck points were deducted, and the host gained 300,000 villain points. The host has gained 1,000 villain points. The host has gained 2,000 villain points. The host has gained 500 villain points. A series of system announcements sounded, and Li Feiyu began to continuously acquire villain points. Until late at night, the villain points he could acquire became less and less, with values such as 100, 250, 440, 10, 20, 10, constantly being displayed. The automatic announcement set up by Chen Zhou for the Destiny Villain system only stopped near dawn, and the number of villains accumulated that night reached 1,523,610. Li Feiyu's villain value has reached 2,331,610, while Su Chen's luck has dropped to 315,639. There's still 310,000 left. I guess the luck won't be so good from here on out. Li Feiyu shook his head helplessly. After what happened last night, Su Chen's resilience will likely be much stronger, and ordinary methods will probably be difficult to use to hurt him. What should I do? Li Feiyu stared blankly at the white clouds in the sky. For a moment, Li Feiyu couldn't think of a good solution. All right, let's go back first and let Su Chen suffer a few more days of bad luck. Li Feiyu sighed, then walked towards the school. P.S. Please give me some encouragement to update and support me out there. Omega equals. Chapter 71, the Starlight Base is established, and I become the young marshal. System, exchange for peak 5th tier combat power. Ding, 990,000 villain points deducted from the host. Congratulations, host, you have obtained peak tier 5 combat power. Your Heavenly Thunder level has evolved to LV5. With a massive influx of lightning-based supernatural abilities, Li Feiyu felt his body brimming with power, and his body underwent a radical transformation at the genetic level. A moment later, Li Feiyu's aura was revealed. Peak of the 5th tier. Feeling the immense power of lightning elemental essence throughout his body, Li Feiyu couldn't help but exclaim, "So this is the peak of the 5th tier." He could blow his former self to death with a single breath, and casually swat any creature below the 5th rank. If he were to unleash a full force area of effect lightning spell, all low-ranking creatures within a 10-mile radius of Starlight City would likely be reduced to ashes by the heavenly lightning. Once one's life level evolves to the peak of the 5th tier, one will fully grasp the mysteries of the elements and begin to come into contact with the true power of the laws. Once one can truly and initially control the power of the laws, one can continue to advance, step into the 6th tier legendary realm, and travel through the galaxies. A 5th tier powerhouse, even nuclear bombs cannot harm him in the slightest. His lifespan is on average over 3,000 years. No matter how many low-level zombies or alien beasts there are, they cannot cause any damage to Li Feiyu. Li Feiyu's body crackled with lightning, and his clothes had already been accidentally shaken to dust, as if he were walking his bird outside. "System, is there a shortcut to quickly control the power?" Li Feiyu was speechless. No matter how many clothes he changed, it was useless against the powerful lightning on his body. He couldn't resist the strong, destructive power of the lightning at all. Fortunately, there was no one within a kilometer radius. The lightning on Li Feiyu's body was so bright that no living being could see what Li Feiyu looked like at that moment. Ding, Super Power Control Gift Pack for the Immortal Cultivation World. 200,000 villain points, the culmination of accumulation from countless immortal cultivation worlds, including Master-level Power Control, Master-level Combat Skills, Master-level Combat Experience, Master-level Combat Awareness, Master-level Combat Instinct. 200,000. Li Feiyu was stunned for a moment, then asked, "System, how is the Great Completion level classified in the cultivation world?" Ding, the levels of mastery over power, Tao, and magic are divided into Beginner, Proficient, Minor Success, Skilled, Master, Unremarkable, Subtle, Seeing the hidden in the subtle. The host doesn't need to worry about the later stages. The Great Completion level is more than enough for the host. Chen Zhou deliberately only told part of the story to avoid making the host, the tool, feel unbalanced. "All right, I'll exchange it." Li Feiyu sighed, ultimately choosing to heed the system's suggestion. Ding, 200,000 villain points have been deducted from the host. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the super gift pack of power control in the cultivation world. Does the host choose to fuse? Merge. Li Feiyu immediately selected fusion. The next moment, a vast amount of memory instantly merged into Li Feiyu's brain, and Li Feiyu's limbs and various parts of his body also formed instinctive memories at the advanced level. Li Feiyu can precisely control the intensity changes of every cell in his body, sometimes unleashing thunderous power, sometimes flowing like water. "Hee, this is fun." Li Feiyu excitedly tried out his new ability, seemingly forgetting that he was still walking his bird. After an unknown amount of time, Li Feiyu suddenly sensed some low-level creatures approaching from 2,500 meters away. He quickly put away his playful mood and put his clothes back on. Li Feiyu flew high into the sky, glanced around casually, and found that the team was nothing special. Then, with a whoosh, he flew away. High-altitude flight is a standard skill for 5th-tier powerhouses. Once you reach the 5th tier, you can master it with a little practice. Li Feiyu has experience and skills from the cultivation world, so flying is naturally a basic skill for him. If Li Feiyu wanted to, he could even fly in some fancy ways. After flying to the vicinity of the school, Li Feiyu landed and walked over the wall back to the school. "Young Master Li, you're back." A classmate greeted him happily, waving. Li Feiyu nodded in a friendly manner and replied in a relaxed tone, "I've been away for 3 days. It's time to come back." Suddenly, the male student remembered the important matter, and his expression turned serious. "By the way, young Master Li, a group of Special Forces soldiers came to the school the day before yesterday afternoon, saying they were looking for you." "Okay, I got it. I'll be right there. You can go do your thing." Li Feiyu smiled calmly. "Okay." The male student nodded and continued walking towards the west gate of the school to switch shifts with another student. Old Deng's men have finally arrived, and the timeline is exactly the same as in the original storyline, the 11th day of the apocalypse. Li Feiyu sighed, walking unhurriedly towards the girls' dormitory. In the original storyline, the people sent by Li Feiyu's biological father, Li Yunshin, also arrived at the school on the 11th day of the apocalypse. The rescue team's mission was to rescue Li Feiyu, but unfortunately the school was deserted by then, and the rescue team found no clues. In order to complete the mission assigned by Commander Lee, the rescue team began searching for any survivors, with the school as the center. It wasn't until the rescue team found other survivors who had escaped from the school that they learned Li Feiyu had died in the horde of zombies. With Sang Biao and the others missing, Li Yunshin continued to issue orders for the rescue team to conduct a detailed investigation into the matter, find Sang Biao, and bring him back. However, since the only two people in the know were Su Chen and Mu Zier, and Li Feiyu's bodyguard team and his lackeys were all dead, the investigation has stalled. Nevertheless, Li Yunshin did not give up and continued to send out more professional investigation teams to continue the investigation. After much investigation, Li Yunshin noticed that Mu Zier and Su Chen were together. Combining the results of his previous investigation, the seasoned Li Yunshin quickly realized the strangeness of the matter. After a special ability user at the Yixianshan base used his ability to deduce that Li Feiyu's cause of death was roughly pinpointed to Su Chen and Mu Zier, Li Yunshin immediately ordered the arrest of Su Chen and Mu Zier and their investigation at Yixianshan. The murderer, Su Chen, was naturally unwilling to surrender, and the two sides became hostile. Influenced by the aura of luck surrounding Su Chen, Li Yunshin easily dealt with the people he sent out each time. This continued until Su Chen developed his strength, and leading the Undying Legion that Yi Jueying had assembled for him, broke through the human camp of Yishan Mountain in one fell swoop. As Li Feiyu pondered this, she arrived at the gate of the girls' dormitory. "Young Master Li," the gatekeeper, a staunch yellow-haired man, shouted excitedly. His eyes widened as he looked at Li Feiyu with great excitement. Li Feiyu nodded slightly, indicating that he had heard her. Li Feiyu continued walking inside and arrived at Sang Baiao's room. Knock, knock, knock. Sang Biao opened the door and respectfully greeted, "Young Master, you're back. Young Master Li, you're finally back. I'm the Marshal's personal guard, number 999, here to escort you back on his orders." The guard quickly pushed past Sang Biao and relayed the Marshal's orders in one breath. "All right, I understand. Tell him Li Yunshin that I'm not going back for now." Li Feiyu looked calmly at his father's personal guards, as if he knew everything. "By the way, I'm currently a Tier 3 ability user, actually at the peak of Tier 5, the world's ceiling," Li Feiyu added. "Understood," Guard 999 replied, turning and leaving Sang Biao's room to consult with the rescue team leader. Soon, Guard 999 arrived with the captain of the 3rd Rescue Team, and another captain stepped forward, saying, "Young Marshal, greetings. The Great Marshal has ordered us to assist you in establishing the Starlight Base." "Starlight Base? Young Marshal, as expected of old Deng, he arranged everything perfectly for me," Li Feiyu thought to himself. "All right, from today onwards, the Starlight Base is officially established," Li Feiyu announced to his trusted confidants. After saying that, Li Feiyu turned to look at Sang Biao and ordered, "Sang Biao, pass on this message." "You three," Li Feiyu realized he didn't know their names, so he could only say, "Go and ask the commander for some equipment and some men." "Yes, young Marshal," the 3 guards shouted in unison. Thus, the Starlight Base was established, and Li Feiyu naturally became the leader of the Starlight Base, the young Marshal. Chapter 72. The Salvation Army joins the attack on the 10 Brothers of Yellow Ox Road. 3 days later, that is, on the 16th day of the apocalypse, thanks to the repeated outreach efforts of Sang Biao and others, all the survivor organizations around the school became aware of the existence of the Starlight Base. Many survivor groups have directly expressed their willingness to join Starlight Base, the official base. The population of Starlight Base increased rapidly. With the addition of the 9,000 elite soldiers airlifted from Yishan Mountain and Li Yunshin, the population of Starlight Base instantly exceeded 10,000. Many teaching buildings were directly converted into dormitories, and with the surrounding school district housing, there are still many vacancies in the accommodation. As Yishan Mountain continued to send transport planes to Starlight City, the forces around Starlight City and along the route between the two places gradually noticed the anomaly. The presence of airplanes indicates that electricity can be restored and that the original science still exists. With some effort, at least communication can be restored. Upon discovering the unusual activity at the school, Boss Liu led his Salvation Army brothers to surrender. Many factions, including the Mutual Aid Association, the Brotherhood, the Rescuers, and the Continuation Alliance, came to express their willingness to join. Faced with the allegiance of many forces, Li Feiyu did not blindly accept them, but instead thoroughly investigated their past in accordance with the previously established rules. For those who have done bad things, as long as they are not unforgivable, Starlight Base will give them a chance to join the zombie extermination team and atone for their sins by fighting for humanity. For those who were particularly heinous and outrageous, Li Feiyu would hold a public trial and interrogate them in court, then hand them over to the victims for further handling. After 2 days of review, most of the survivor groups near the school joined Starlight Base. A small number of survivors valued freedom, and the Starlight Base ignored them. As long as they didn't commit evil deeds or harm their own kind, Li Feiyu didn't bother with them. On the evening of the 18th day of the apocalypse, Starlight Base held its first routine meeting, attended by the leaders of various survivor organizations as representatives. Young Marshal, there's an organization called the 10 Brothers of Huangniu Road in the abandoned warehouse to the northwest. These people commit all sorts of evil deeds, raping survivors everywhere. Please, Young Marshal, send troops to bring them to justice. The female leader of the Mutual Aid Society, Poisonous Lady, was the first to speak, her tone filled with anger. Li Feiyu nodded slightly and asked in a deep voice, "The 10 Brothers of Huangniu Road, approximately how many of them are there? How many are superhumans? What is their firepower configuration?" Poisonous Lady took out several prepared intelligence reports and reported, "Young Marshal, there are more than 20 people in this group. Most of them are ordinary people, and they do not have firearms. The core group consists of 10 people, collectively known as the 10 Brothers. The leader is Huang De, a first-tier fire type ability user. The second in command, Huang Er, is a first-tier metal type ability user. Huang San, Huang Si, and Huang Wu are first-tier wood, earth, and water type ability users respectively. Huang Liu's ability is unique, capable of weakening and rendering others powerless. Huang Qi through Huang Shi, along with the other members, do not exhibit any obvious abilities and are likely ordinary people." Li Feiyu nodded to indicate that he understood and continued to ask, "Who among you is willing to lead the other side to punish the 10 Brothers of Huangniu? Young Marshal, our Salvation Army squad is willing to lead the attack, take down the 10 Brothers of Huangniu Road, and execute these scum on the spot." Liu, the leader of the Salvation Army squad, shouted first. This was their 3rd day at Starlight Base, and the brothers in the Salvation Army squad had been looking forward to making a name for themselves in battle. Now that the opportunity has finally arrived, Boss Liu stepped forward without hesitation, expressing his willingness to take the initiative and join other teams in attacking the 10 Brothers of Huangniu Road. "Young Marshal, our Mutual Aid Society branch is also willing to go and seek justice for those victims." The Mutual Aid Society's female leader, Poisonous Lady, quickly added, "The Mutual Aid Association is a survivor organization that helps each other and survives together in the apocalypse. A few days ago, after learning about the evil deeds of the 10 Brothers of Huangniu Road, the female leader of the Mutual Aid Association, Poisonous Lady, immediately sent out several groups to collect information on the 10 Brothers of Huangniu Road. Poisonous Lady originally intended to seek help from other survivor organizations to eradicate the inhumane 10 Brothers of Yellow Ox Road. Unexpectedly, they encountered the Starlight Base's propaganda elite team as soon as they stepped out. Then, the Mutual Aid Society's female leader, Poisonous Lady, led a group of people to visit the Starlight Base. In the end, the entire Mutual Aid Society unanimously decided to join the Starlight Base. Now that the Starlight Base review process is complete, the first regular meeting is being held. The female leader of the Mutual Aid Association, Poisonous Lady, took the lead and proposed the important matter of attacking the 10 Brothers of Yellow Ox Road. "Young Marshal, I, Gao Zicheng, am willing to lead the Brotherhood's forces to punish those scumbags, the 10 Brothers of Huangniu Road." This was a rare, serious response from Gao Zicheng, the leader of the Brotherhood. "All right, Boss Liu, Poisonous Lady, and Gao Zicheng, the 3 of you will be in charge of the campaign against the 10 Brothers of Yellow Ox Path. Remember not to let your guard down and absolutely prevent any casualties." Li Feiyu made the decision with an air of authority. "Yes, Young Marshal," the 3 replied in unison. The next morning, the 19th day of the apocalypse, the Salvation Army's Iron Overlord Boss Liu, the Mutual Aid Society's Deadly Poisonous Milk, Poisonous Lady, and the Brotherhood's Comedy Guy, Gao Zicheng each selected a group of elites and split into 3 groups to sneak towards the Yellow Ox Road 10 Brothers warehouse base. Meanwhile, Huang De and the others were still venting their anger on Su Chen and his companion. Because of Su Chen, Huang De was beaten up in front of his underlings, and all the spoils they had obtained after risking their lives for several days were taken away by the mysterious merchant. Even the Mutual Aid Society, which had previously kept to themselves, has recently started to frequently oppose the 10 Brothers of Huang Niu Road for some unknown reason. Every time they almost caught a new prey, members of the Mutual Aid Society would interfere, sometimes preventing them from even finding food. Huang De got angrier and angrier. When he got angry, he wanted to vent his anger, so he started a fight with Su Chen. Su Chen stared unfocusedly at the warehouse ceiling. He hadn't eaten for 5 days, after 5 days of software hardening work. Su Chen's body began to betray his will, which terrified him. He feared that he would choose to fall into depravity in this life and become like the people he had seen in his past life. Su Chen was filled with hatred, and he had made countless vows in his heart to make these people pay 1,000-fold. With his limbs crippled and his crystal core damaged, Su Chen was constantly subjected to a weakening superpower by a guy named Huang Liu, and he had no idea how to escape. Mu Zier, a comrade standing to the side, was already numb, as if her heart had died. She didn't even respond to Su Chen's calls of comfort during his spare time. "Brother, I heard that Starlight Base has executed quite a few vicious people," Huang Jiu said worriedly. "What are you afraid of? We didn't go. Do you think that brat Li Feiyu would send people to attack us?" Huang Liu encouraged the group with a disdainful look. "Exactly, it's the apocalypse. Why are you still spouting all that nonsense, talking about right and wrong justice? It's bullshit. I don't believe they can even come back," Huang Qi chimed in. "Big Brother is truly brilliant. He saw through the Starlight Base's conspiracy early on, which is why we didn't fall into Li Feiyu's hands," Huang San suddenly exclaimed. "Yes, yes, yes. Big Brother is truly wise and mighty, leading us to escape those hypocritical guys at the Starlight Base," Huang Jiu echoed with a smile. "By the way, brothers, I heard that Su Chen and that girl seem to be classmates with Li Feiyu." Huang Shi suddenly chuckled. "We can't afford to offend Li Feiyu, but we have Su Chen in our hands." "Brother, you're so quick-witted," Huang Bajai smiled knowingly. "Brothers, 9th brother, 10th brother, let's go conquer another city and expand our territory." "Ha ha ha, let's go." The group laughed and walked side by side toward the center of the warehouse. Little did they know, 3 teams of righteous superhumans from Starlight Base had already assembled not far from the abandoned warehouse. P.S. Please encourage me to update and support me with your love. Chapter 73, ha ha ha. You guys aren't trying to make me laugh to death, are you? Brother Gao? A figure suddenly crawled out from Gao Zicheng's shadow. Gao Zicheng was startled again, his body trembling violently. "Ghost Shadow, you? Are you trying to scare me to death? You never even make a sound when you appear." Ghostly Shadow grinned, revealing a set of white teeth, and explained, "Brother Gao, this isn't the first or second time I've done this. Just get used to it." Gao Zicheng took a deep breath, trying to calm himself down. He glared at Ghost Shadow and said irritably, "Remember to tell me in advance next time you come out, otherwise I'll be scared sick even if I'm not sick." Ghost Shadow nodded quickly and replied, "Okay, Brother Gao, I'll remember that. I'll definitely do it next time." Ghost's superpower is related to shadows. He can hide in the shadow of any object and launch surprise attacks through shadows. He is the number 3 member of the Brotherhood. Gao Zicheng didn't pay attention to Ghost Shadow's promise of next time for sure, which Ghost Shadow said every time. After chatting with Ghost Shadow, Gao Zicheng's expression immediately turned serious. "Ghost Shadow, tell everyone what information you've gathered." Ghost Shadow nodded and answered seriously, "There are a total of 28 people on the other side. There are 25 people inside the warehouse, including 2 suspected victims. They are gathered in the open space in the center of the warehouse, and there are 3 ordinary people wandering outside." "A suspected victim?" Poisonous Lady stepped forward with a puzzled look and asked, "Is one of these 2 people an extremely beautiful woman?" The ghost nodded. There was indeed a beautiful woman, but she wasn't a good person either. "Why is this?" Poisonous Lady asked, somewhat bewildered. "A few days ago, Poisonous Lady received a group of victims who claimed to have escaped from the 10 Brothers of Yellow Ox Road. After questioning, Poisonous Lady learned about the despicable acts of the 10 Brothers of Yellow Ox Road, and that they had been rescued by a mysterious merchant who used an ordinary-looking man as a deal. However, there is one extremely beautiful woman who is still in the hands of the mysterious merchant, and is currently being ignored by the scumbags known as the 10 Brothers of Huang Niu Road. Now Ghost Shadow tells Poisonous Lady that the persecuted woman is not a good person, which Poisonous Lady cannot understand for a moment. "Elder Sister Poisonous Lady, you don't know this. That woman's name is Mu Zier, and the other man's name is Su Chen. They and a fat man once fought over our crystal cores and food. They even arrogantly mocked us. So what if we robbed you? Trash doesn't deserve to live. If you've got the guts, come and get revenge on Su Chen." Upon hearing this, Poisonous Lady was startled. She suddenly remembered that members of the Mutual Aid Society had also encountered robbery and extortion when they went out before. There were 3 people on the other side, 1 woman and 2 men, one of whom was fat. The leader was named Su Chen. These 3 people ambushed and injured the Mutual Aid Society members who were out, stole all their supplies, and then shamelessly claimed that they were teaching them a lesson, and that the crystal cores and food were the tuition fees. "Su Chen," Liu Kuntu, standing nearby, also exclaimed in surprise. "What's wrong, boss Liu? Did Su Chen offend you too?" Gao Zicheng asked with a puzzled look. Liu Kuntu nodded and replied angrily, "That's right. A few days ago, the men I sent out also encountered these 3 people, 2 men and 1 woman, one of whom was a fat man. The leader called himself Old Man Su Chen. These 3 bastards not only stole the supplies my men had gathered, but they also stole several guns from my Salvation Army, saying that the weak don't deserve to use weapons. I've been looking for these 3 scoundrels these past few days." Poisonous Lady nodded and then explained. "This Su Chen also led people to rob our Mutual Aid Association's supplies and injured our members. I never imagined these 2 would fall into the hands of those beasts, the 10 brothers of Huangniu Road. It seems the wicked always get their comeuppance." "Should we still make a move now?" Ghost Shadow asked hesitantly. "Let the brothers rest for a bit." Liu Kuntu was the first to speak and decide. Gao Zicheng nodded. "I also think the brothers need a rest." "I agree as well." The poisonous woman also agreed with their decision. With the unanimous agreement of the 3 team leaders, everyone decided to rest and recuperate before launching another attack. Half an hour later, Ghost Shadow took action and dealt with the henchmen who had just changed shifts. Liu Kuntu led his men to block the other exits and occupy the high ground inside the warehouse. Du Nyingzi led her men to enter through the back door to encircle them, while Gao Zicheng led his men to openly kick down the front door. Bang! The door was kicked open by Gao Zicheng. "Don't move, put your hands on your heads and crouch down or we'll shoot," Gao Zicheng shouted, holding a Gatling gun. Huang San and his 3 unknown henchmen who were fighting fiercely were immediately terrified and went limp. The others were also stunned on the spot. Several strangers armed with AKs also appeared on the upper part of the warehouse. Seeing that there were rescuers, Su Chen's previously despairing heart was suddenly filled with hope, and at the same time he was extremely angry. It's all because these people came too slowly, causing him to lose even his second brother. Muzier was still staring blankly at the warehouse ceiling, completely unaware of the changes that had taken place outside. "Who are you?" Huang glared menacingly at the well-equipped superhumans before him. The man in the lead was a complete stranger. Huang De was absolutely certain he had never seen him before, and this was definitely not one of the local forces. Just then, Poisonous Lady and her group surrounded them from behind. "Long time no see, Huang De." "So it was you." Huang De glared angrily at the leader of their arch-rival, the Mutual Aid Society. Upon seeing the Poisonous Lady herself, Huang De knew exactly where these people came from. Starlight Base. This woman, the Poisonous Lady, had actually sent people from Starlight Base to attack him. "Huang De, you might as well surrender." Gao Zicheng issued his final ultimatum. Huang De and his brothers exchanged glances, and Huang San immediately threw the filthy Su Chen toward Poisonous Woman. At the same time, Huang De instantly threw several fireballs at Gao Zicheng, shouting, "Big fireballs! Sewage! Entwined with green vines! Dust!" The others simultaneously unleashed their signature techniques. In an instant, dust and sewage filled the air, mixed with fireballs, while green vines simultaneously wrapped around Gao Zicheng and the others. There's no way they can win in a fight. If they're captured and taken back to the Starlight Base, they'll most likely be executed. There's only one way out for Huang De and the others: break out. The brothers Gao Zicheng brought were all skilled. With a little effort, the vines instantly shattered. The Wind-type ability user released a powerful gust of wind, and the 5 Earth-type ability users together erected a wall of earth. The ghostly figure was directly hidden in the shadow of the flower pot. "Ha ha ha, you guys aren't trying to make me laugh to death, are you? Such thin vines, and you still dare to use them. Are you trying to create a festive atmosphere?" Gao Zicheng laughed loudly as he pulled the Gatling gun trigger. The Gatling gun spun wildly, spitting out a tongue of fire, and a dense hail of bullets rained down on Huang De and the others. "Da-da-da." At the same time, those who occupied the high ground also pulled the triggers. Shots of fire shot down from above, mingling with Gao Zicheng's firepower to create a deathly barrage. The other attackers were equally determined, armed with various weapons, some carrying submachine guns and others rifles, and unleashing a barrage of ammunition on Huang De and his men. In an instant, the entire warehouse was filled with the sound of gunfire. Su Chen, who was flying in the air, suddenly sensed danger and quickly did a somersault landing face first on the ground, successfully making intimate contact with the floor the moment the Mutual Aid Association opened fire. Su Chen raised his head with a murderous aura, but suddenly felt a chill down his spine. He instinctively rolled away, narrowly avoiding several bullets that were deliberately lowered. Another superhuman slightly moved the muzzle of his gun, and several bullets were fired at Su Chen on the ground. At the critical moment of life and death, Su Chen unleashed his potential, using strength beyond his ability to twist his body and constantly dodge the occasional attacks from the superhumans. Damn it, do you even know how to save people? You saw I was a hostage and still started hitting me. You're a bunch of useless idiots. Mutual Aid Society? How dare you shoot at me? Just you wait, Su Chen will wipe out your entire family one day. Su Chen cursed and swore in his heart, but the only response he received was a da-da-da sound. Feeling utterly frustrated, Su Chen could only bark helplessly while dodging in all sorts of bizarre ways. Chapter 74, Reunion with Su Chen and Mu Zier. A few minutes later, the gunfire stopped, and 17 people, including Huang De, Huang and Huang San, who were in the center of the fire, were mowed down to a pulp and were beyond dead. The remaining 6 people were spared from the concentrated fire because they were far away from Huang De and the others, and their lives were temporarily saved. The 6 scumbags squatted on the spot, holding their heads, with a pool of unidentified liquid under each of them. The ghostly figure slowly materialized from Gao Zicheng's shadow. "Brother Gao, what's the next step?" Gao Zicheng was startled again, his face darkening. "A ghost, a shadow. Hey Gaoji, what's next?" Ghost Shadow maintained his wide, white-toothed smile. "Get the hell out of here." Gao Zicheng angrily kicked Ghost Shadow. The ghostly figure instantly transformed into a shadow, rendering the attack ineffective. Gao Zicheng could only vent his anger by stomping on his own shadow. Poisonous Lady found a rag and covered Mu Zier with it, then ordered her men to bring the 6 terrified henchmen to her. "Heroine, spare us! Heroine, spare us!" The 6 lowly henchmen kept kowtowing and begging for mercy. "Heroine, we really didn't do anything heinous. It was Huang De and the others who forced us. We really didn't do anything," one of the henchmen cried as he tried to defend himself. Yes, yes, yes. It was all those scumbags, Huang De, who forced us into this. We were just helping them keep quiet. We really didn't do anything. We were all captured by those beasts, Huang De. We had no choice. They threatened to kill us if we disobeyed. We were all forced into this situation. These underlings rushed to beg for mercy. "Enough, shut up." Upon hearing the poisonous lady's rebuke, the 6 henchmen immediately shut their mouths, weeping and wailing as they looked at their leader, hoping she would believe their lies and let them go. "You lot, find something to carry those 2 and come back to Starlight Base with us." With that, Poisonous Lady pointed to Su Chen, who was tumbling into the corner, and Mu Zier, who was stunned. "Yes, we'll go right away." The 6 men quickly and gratefully got up, thinking that the Poisonous Lady had decided to let them go. The 6 scoundrels rummaged through the clutter and pulled out 2 dusty wooden planks, placing the fiercely resisting Su Chen and the stunned Mu Zier on the planks. "Heroine, we've taken care of it. When can we leave this hellhole?" One of the scoundrels asked obsequiously, eager to claim credit. Poisonous Lady didn't care how brutally these 6 people acted. In any case, neither group was any good. She just wanted to use these 6 scumbags to carry the other 2 scumbags back and then put them to trial in front of everyone. Now, Poisonous Lady coldly finished speaking, and a group of members from the Mutual Aid Society stepped forward, pointing assault rifles at these scumbags. "Behave yourselves, or my gun might accidentally go off." The 6 scumbags nodded knowingly and obediently lifted the violently struggling Su Chen and the stunned Mu Zier, and walked towards the school under the escort of the Mutual Aid Society team and half of Boss Liu's Salvation Army team. Because Su Chen resisted fiercely and refused to cooperate, he tried to escape several times. Several people who had been beaten by the puppet Su Chen when they went out before seized the opportunity and slapped him hard. After enduring dozens of blows, Su Chen finally chose to endure and stop resisting. Gao Zicheng led the remaining men to search the warehouse, carefully looking for spoils of war that could be useful to the Starlight Base. An hour later, Su Chen, Muzier, and the 6 scumbags were escorted to the school. Upon seeing the school, Su Chen tried to run away again, but ended up getting hit with dozens of slaps and being forcibly taken back to the school. In the afternoon, the first public trial at the Starlight Base began. Kill these scum. Kill these scum. These scumbags don't deserve to be called human beings. These scumbags don't deserve to be called human beings. They'll be executed by slow slicing. Take them and feed them to the zombies. After learning of the crimes committed by these scumbags, the crowd gathered on the school playground and shouted in hushed tones. Quiet, Li Feiyu gestured for everyone to be quiet. The entire room fell silent. Li Feiyu looked around at the indignant crowd and said, "Today is the day of our Starlight Base's public trial. The crimes of these people are too numerous to count, and I won't go into those empty words." Li Feiyu paused for a moment, then continued, "The fate of these people will be decided by the victims." Good, good, the crowd cheered. Then more than 20 victims angrily rushed onto the playground and dragged the 6 scumbags to the designated execution area, with some angry spectators following to witness the event. Then Su Chen and Muzier were brought up, and some people who had been attacked by the puppets stared angrily at the 2 kneeling on the ground. Su Chen was filled with rage and had no idea what had happened. Muzier had regained some of her senses, but she kept her head down and dared not look at Li Feiyu, who was standing on the high place. "Su Chen, do you know your crime?" Li Feiyu looked at Su Chen, who was being held down on the ground with a serious expression. Li Feiyu, stop pretending. I don't need your sympathy. If you have the guts, kill me right now. Otherwise, one day I will definitely destroy your Starlight Base with my own hands. Su Chen stared at Li Feiyu with bloodshot eyes. "Young Marshal, this man has a terrible attitude. Keeping him alive will only cause trouble. I suggest he be shot," the blonde-haired man angrily suggested. "Young Marshal, this man has been ambushing and beating numerous survivors who have ventured out, and he even lured zombies to our Salvation Army headquarters, attempting to use them to harm human survivors. He deserves to die according to the law," Liu Kuntu shouted angrily. Before meeting Su Chen, Liu Kuntu didn't know exactly who the beast who attracted the zombies was. Today, Su Chen was taken to the Starlight Base, and the Eagle Eye ability user who was on guard duty for the Salvation Army recognized Su Chen at a glance as the beast who had attracted the zombies. After hearing Boss Liu's accusations, everyone's expressions changed drastically. They originally thought that Su Chen was just robbing things and beating and insulting people from various survivor organizations. But now it seems that Su Chen, this scumbag, is completely unforgivable. Intentionally luring zombies to attack the survivor camp is utterly treacherous, even more vicious than the 10 brothers of Huangniu Road. Yes, kill him, he must be killed. This person must not be allowed to live. Such inhuman scoundrels should not exist in this world. And that woman, who conspired with Su Chen to commit evil deeds and harm survivors everywhere, cannot be let off the hook either. Kill them, kill that scumbag couple. All the survivors who were watching stood up and condemned. The actions of Su Chen and his 2 companions have seriously crossed the line, destroying a human survivor camp. This is something that cannot be forgiven under any circumstances. This is slander, this is utter slander. I have never done any of these things. I refuse to accept this. I refuse to accept this, Su Chen roared angrily. "Bring up the physical evidence," Li Feiyu calmly commanded. Soon, a familiar corpse was placed beside Su Chen. "Su Chen, you keep saying you didn't do it, so how do you explain Yang Dawei? Why was Yang Dawei in the ruins of the Salvation Army's headquarters? And why did he have a man-made wound on his abdomen?" Li Feiyu asked 3 questions in quick succession. Upon seeing the fat man's corpse, Su Chen was enraged. Li Feiyu had actually used the fat man's body to frame him. This was a complete distortion of the truth and a blatant provocation. He only wanted to use the Salvation Army to deal with the zombies. He had no intention of harming the Salvation Army at all. His plan was to wait until the Salvation Army was in crisis, then step forward to fight off the zombies, save the Salvation Army from disaster, and recruit them to his own cause. Who knew the Salvation Army would plant so many explosives at their headquarters? He didn't even blame the Salvation Army for killing his brothers and injuring him, yet these same people are now criticizing him. Destruction survivor. That's a label that Li Feiyu and his ilk have put on him. How can you prove I did the Salvation Army's things just by looking at the fat man's corpse? Su Chen retorted angrily, his face full of indignation. Li Feiyu chuckled, "Play the video." A repaired large screen was brought up, and when the screen was turned on, it showed Su Chen digging out the fat man's crystal core. This was a video that Li Feiyu had obtained from the system by spending 10,000 villain points. This, everyone gasped in astonishment. Humans actually have crystal nuclei. The crystal nucleus is located in what the ancients called the Danshan. How did Su Chen know that the crystal core was located in the Danshan of the human body? While everyone was shocked, they also became worried. Humans actually had crystal cores, and there was bound to be people killing each other for them. What should they do then? Or rather, what should everyone do? Seeing this, Su Chen was disappointed. He hadn't expected Li Feiyu to arrive so early and even have the photography equipment repaired. With video evidence, Su Chen is speechless, and no one will believe him no matter what he says. Su Chen gave a wry smile. It seems there's no escaping this time. It's a pity that after 8 years of surviving in this apocalyptic world, I, Su Chen, never imagined I'd fall into such a ditch. How pathetic and lamentable. Just then the ground shook violently. An angry voice came from afar. Li Feiyu, hand over Su Chen. Li Feiyu was secretly delighted. They've finally arrived. P.S. Please encourage me to update more frequently and support me out there. Omega equals. Chapter 75. Obtaining 100,000 crystal cores in one sentence. Everyone looked up at the sound and saw a woman with snow-white skin and a beautiful face standing on the wall, wearing a clean black dress. The woman's skin was eerily pale, even sickly. At a glance, everyone could tell that this woman was not human. Even if their brothers had been dead for 3 days, they wouldn't be this pale. The atmosphere suddenly became tense, and everyone kept their eyes fixed on the woman, not daring to let their guard down. Yi Jueying didn't care about the strange looks from those around her. She was already used to such gazes. Her dark, beautiful eyes were fixed on Li Feiyu. All I want today is Su Chen, Li Feiyu. As long as you hand over Su Chen to me, I promise to immediately lead these hordes of corpses away and never attack the Starlight Base again. The woman's voice was cold and resolute, as if she would not give up until she achieved her goal. Li Feiyu remained unmoved. He stood there, quietly watching Yi Jueying without the slightest fear on his face. Li Feiyu smiled faintly, deliberately revealing only his third-tier lightning power. What if I don't agree? Yi Jueying's dark pupils contracted, and he thought to himself, just as the mysterious merchant said, Li Feiyu, the leader of the Starlight Base, is a peak third-tier ability user, and he also possesses the most domineering lightning ability among all abilities. Yi Jueying knew very well that he had no chance of winning against Li Feiyu. Yi Jueying's lips curled into a smug smile, as if victory was assured. Li Feiyu, I know I am no match for you, but don't forget, I have 1,000,000 zombies behind me. Once these zombies are out of my control, even if you exhaust all your superpowers, you might not escape unscathed. Upon hearing the woman's threat, the crowd began to discuss why this woman, who was clearly not human, had come to Starlight Base to demand people. What's wrong with this woman? Why did she save a beast like Su Chen? Who exactly is this woman? What is her relationship with Su Chen? Why did she come to save Su Chen? How can she command so many zombies? One of the young men asked, voicing the biggest question on everyone's mind. How can there still be people who can control zombies in the apocalypse? Someone was on the verge of a mental breakdown. If zombies are this terrifying even without reason, what would we do if they had intelligence? Some people began to weep pessimistically. Do you think this woman can even be considered human? Another person voiced their doubts. What makes humans human is that we can make tools, have thoughts, and possess wisdom. If this woman also possesses these qualities, I think she should be human too, a woman wearing glasses explained. But she doesn't look human either, another woman questioned. The woman with glasses adjusted her glasses and said seriously, judging from this woman's current behavior, she clearly still possesses human intelligence and seems to retain human memories. Then how do you explain her controlling zombies? The opposing woman continued to question. The woman with glasses took a deep breath and calmly gave an example in her reply. Don't forget, we also awaken superpowers. Does that mean we're no longer human? The woman who objected looked at the woman with glasses in disbelief and questioned. What human would stand with zombies and use them to threaten other humans? The woman with glasses glanced at Yi Jueying on the wall and then said, Isn't this person right in front of me a perfect example? The woman who objected looked at the woman with glasses in disbelief and angrily accused her. She brought zombies to threaten human survivors, and you still think she's human. The woman with glasses reiterated her point of view. The focus of our discussion is whether she possesses human characteristics, not whether she poses a threat to us. The two are not directly related. How could they not be related? The woman who objected shouted excitedly. The two were originally related. The bespectacled woman retorted without backing down. The two argued with each other. Enough, you two, stop arguing. Is this the crux of the problem? Look outside carefully, there are zombies everywhere. If this woman really gives the order, the consequences will be. The young superhuman didn't finish his sentence, but everyone understood what he meant. If this woman really ordered the zombies to attack, they would have no way to resist. Thinking of this, everyone felt a chill run down their spines, and their faces turned extremely pale. Faced with this situation, they were momentarily at a loss for what to do. All eyes were on Li Feiyu, waiting for him to make a decision. Should they fight to the death, or hand Su Chen over to the other side in exchange for peace? Everyone is waiting for Li Feiyu to make a decision. Li Feiyu deliberately feigned a difficult decision-making expression and cautiously asked, "What do you want Su Chen to do?" "I have a grudge against Su Chen and his group, and I want to take revenge myself," Yi Jueying stated his purpose directly. Hearing this, everyone felt a sense of relief. It turned out that this woman, who didn't look human, was also an enemy of Su Chen. In that case, handing over Su Chen didn't seem like anything to worry about. Moreover, the other party promised never to attack the Starlight base, and their only request was to take revenge personally. Li Feiyu deliberately sighed and deliberately compromised. "Okay, but you must provide us with another 100,000 crystal cores, and the crystal core level cannot be lower than the first tier." Crystal cores, it's crystal cores again. The mysterious merchant wants 3 million crystal cores of at least tier 1, and Li Feiyu demands at least 100,000. They're all bastards who have fallen for crystal cores. "Damn it," Yi Jueying exclaimed angrily, thinking of the mysterious businessman's terrifying methods. And having already spent 3 million, she was unwilling to give up if she still couldn't tear Su Chen to pieces with her own hands. Yi Jueying nodded with extreme displeasure, gritting his teeth. "Fine, I agree, but you must give me that woman first." With that, Yi Jueying pointed to Mu Zier, who was kneeling beside him with her head bowed. Li Feiyu nodded. "Of course, this is a gesture of goodwill. Come back here when you have collected 100,000 crystal cores. At that time, we will exchange the crystal cores for the goods." "It's a deal." Yi Jueying gritted her teeth, reluctantly agreeing to Li Feiyu's shameless terms. Li Feiyu smiled as he picked up Mu Zier and tossed her to Yi Jueying, saying, "It's a deal." Mu Zier's hard-won composure crumbled instantly. She slowly closed her eyes, murmuring to herself, "He just threw me away like that. Just threw me away like that. Threw me away." Tears streamed uncontrollably down her cheeks. Su Chen, pinned to the ground, struggled frantically, his eyes bloodshot, staring intently at Li Feiyu and roaring, "Li Feiyu, are you even a man? How could you treat Zier like merchandise and trade her with a zombie? That's a zombie. How could you hand Zier over to a zombie?" Xiao Wen and Huang Mao immediately took off their smelly socks that they hadn't had time to wash for days and stuffed them into Su Chen's throat. Tilda Su Chen kept dry heaving. Every time Su Chen vomited, Huang Mao would help him put it back in and even thoughtfully found a twig to help him pack it tightly. Outside the school, the zombies suddenly rioted due to the influence of Su Chen's luck. Yi Jueying was instantly attacked by the backlash. His breathing became disordered, and Mu Zier in his hand fell to the ground. He subconsciously covered his wound in pain. The next moment, 3 second-tier zombies, disguised as superhuman dolls, suddenly appeared from the horde, quickly eliminating the source of the riot and bringing the nearly out-of-control horde under control. Li Feiyu looked at Yi Jueying with a half-smile and asked, "You can't completely control these zombies." Yi Jueying weakly raised his head. "I am a third-level zombie, and I can control these zombies. What just happened was just a minor incident. It's nothing serious. Don't worry, it won't affect you." She had only recently reached the 3rd tier by relying on the crystal core, and her control over 1 million zombies was entirely due to the 3 peak 2nd-tier mental zombies she bought from the mysterious merchant. The horde of zombies suddenly rioted, almost cracking her crystal core. Luckily, the 3 psychic zombies she bought from the mysterious merchant were reliable, otherwise she would have been in deep trouble today. Li Feiyu nodded, then impatiently urged, "Since everything's all right, take your horde of zombies back." Yi Jueying paused for a moment, then grabbed Mu Zier's shiny, oily hair and turned to walk towards the horde of corpses. Chapter 76. Extensive exchange of various superpowers. Ding, the host has publicly tried the Chosen One, causing Su Chen to be despised by the world and hated by everyone. completely losing any possibility of establishing himself in the Starlight City region. 20,000 of Su Chen's luck points have been deducted, and the host has gained 200,000 villain points. Ding, the chosen one, Su Chen, is being vilified by the world. His loss of his second brother has been witnessed by everyone, and the truth about being cued has been revealed. Su Chen has lost all face and can no longer hold his head high in front of the world. 7,000 of Su Chen's luck points have been deducted, and the host has gained 70,000 villain points. Ding, the chosen one of destiny, Su Chen, watched helplessly as Mu Zir was tossed to the zombie Yi Jueying like a dead dog by the host. Su Chen lost all face and his mentality collapsed. 3,000 of Su Chen's luck points are deducted, and the host gains 30,000 villain points, including the luck points that were gradually revealed in the past few days. Li Feiyu has obtained a total of nearly 300,000 villain points. After a moment of silence, Li Feiyu instructed Sang Bio, who was standing beside him. Sang Bio, take Su Chen away and lock him up. Arrange for people to keep a close watch on him 24 hours a day. We absolutely cannot let him escape. Yes, young Marshal. Sang Bio walked to Su Chen's side, raised his foot, and stepped on Su Chen's limbs without hesitation. Several crisp sounds of bones breaking rang out, and Su Chen's limbs were instantly broken by Sang Bio. He collapsed to the ground, groaning in pain. Ah! Su Chen let out a series of shrill screams, the sound echoing throughout the entire playground. But no one sympathized with Su Chen, this treacherous man. Ding, the host's subordinates publicly crushed the limbs of Su Chen, the chosen one of destiny, cutting off any possibility of his escape in the short term. Su Chen was furious but helpless. 4,000 of Su Chen's destiny points were deducted, and the host gained 40,000 villain points. Everyone, you can all leave now, Li Feiyu said, marking the end of the first trial representing Starlight Base. After Su Chen was held back by Sang Bio, the crowd slowly dispersed. Some people ran to the execution site to see the fate of the other 6 scumbags. Some chose to form a team to patrol the area around the school, and the rest returned to their respective posts. Starlight Base returned to peace once again, except for the fact that people would occasionally go to the cell where Su Chen was being held to check on him. That's 100,000 crystal cores. We can't let him get away. Over the next few days, Li Feiyu transformed into a mysterious merchant, traveling around trading with survivors to obtain crystal cores. In just half a month, mysterious merchants appeared all over the Dragon Kingdom, and Li Feiyu successfully obtained hundreds of thousands of crystal cores, as well as a large amount of supplies from various places occupied by zombies. System exchange for fire-type abilities, water-type abilities, metal-type abilities, wood-type abilities, earth-type abilities, weakness abilities, ethereal abilities, light-type abilities, darkness-type abilities, invisibility abilities, healing-type abilities, spatial abilities, and time-type abilities. Ding, 3,000 villain points deducted from the host. Congratulations, host, you have obtained the fire-type ability, Undying Flame, LV1. Ding, 3,000 villain points deducted from the host. Congratulations, host, you have obtained the water-based superpower, Unending Flow, LV1. Ding, 5,000 villain points deducted from the host. Congratulations, host, you have gained a special ability, Weakness, LV1. Ding, 6,000 villain points deducted from the host. Congratulations, host, you have gained a special ability, Illusionization, LV1. Ding, 5,000 villain points deducted from the host. Congratulations, host, you have gained a special ability, Invisibility, LV1. Ding, 100,000 villain points deducted from the host. Congratulations, host, you have gained a healing ability, Eternal Life, LV1. Ding, 500,000 villain points deducted from the host. Congratulations, host, you have obtained a space-type ability, Space Authority, LV1. Ding, 1,000,000 villain points deducted from the host. Congratulations, host, you have gained a time-based ability, Time Control, LV1. Li Feiyu spent a total of nearly 2 million villain points to exchange for a small portion of the superpowers he saw in the system shop. Since he could exchange crystal cores for villain points, Li Feiyu was naturally unwilling to give up this good opportunity. The only drawback was that there was a limit to the amount of villain points that could be exchanged for crystal cores. First-tier crystal cores cost 10 million, second-tier crystal cores cost 1 million, third-tier crystal cores cost 100,000, fourth-tier crystal cores cost 10,000, fifth-tier crystal cores cost 1,000, sixth-tier crystal sources cost 100, seventh-tier crystal sources cost 10, eighth-tier crystal sources cost 1, and as for ninth tier, there is no upper limit. Because there are no ninth-tier mythical level powerhouses in this universe, there is no upper limit to the exchange of ninth-tier crystal sources. Li Feiyu calculated the exchange ratio and found that the crystal cores could generate over 100 million villain points. With the villain points contributed by Su Chen, after exchanging for peak 7th-tier combat power, there would still be more than half left. He decided to use it to exchange for superpowers. A 7th-tier immortal peak combat power requires 50 million villain points, an 8th-tier epic peak combat power requires 50 billion villain points, and a 9th-tier mythic peak combat power requires a staggering 5 trillion villain points. You can't possibly sacrifice an entire planet to exchange for a ball. After a moment's thought, Li Feiyu decided to use his extra villain points to exchange for other superpowers, and then gradually upgrade the level of the relevant superpowers by continuously using the corresponding attribute crystals and superpowers. In particular, spatial and temporal abilities are almost impossible to find with corresponding crystal cores. Even if they exist, spatial and temporal zombies are exceptionally good at escaping and are not easy to detect. There are only two ways to improve: one by upgrading through villain value, two by improving naturally through continuous practical application. The first method requires a large amount of villain points, and the second method requires an unknown amount of time. However, given the importance of space and time, Li Feiyu still plans to make the most of the villain's intelligence and the Heavenly Thunder ability to reach the peak of the 7th Order immortality, while simultaneously improving his time and space abilities, using them as his ultimate trump card. Let's go back to the day Mu Zir was traded. With the help of the 3 puppets, Yi Jueying brought the first female protagonist, Mu Zir, back to the inner area of Starlight City. Mu Zir, look at the mess you're in now. Do you regret it? Yi Jueying lifted Mu Zir's chin with great interest. Mu Zir's unfocused pupils regained a sliver of consciousness, and she casually glanced at the pale-skinned female zombie in front of her. A hint of self-mockery flashed in his eyes. Yi Jueying gave Mu Zir no time to regret her actions. Her pale, snow-white hand, like a cold, sharp blade, precisely pierced Mu Zir's dantian. Mu Zir's eyes widened instinctively, but the intense pain prevented her from making a sound. Yi Jueying explored for a moment, and then grabbed the first-tier ice-type crystal core from Mu Zir's body. A first-tier ice-type crystal core? What a piece of trash! Yi Jueying coldly glanced at Mu Zir, who was curled up on the ground, her face pale. Mu Zir, cherish your last moments? Yi Jueying glanced mockingly at Mu Zir, who was curled up in a ball, then coldly turned and left the dilapidated hut. The house was surrounded by thousands of zombies, and Yi Jueying had clearly left Mu Zir no chance to escape. Mu Zir glanced self-deprecatingly at the departing figure of the mother zombie, her pale lips moving with difficulty. I regret it. One day later, Mu Zir died. Ding, the host has designed a scenario where the second-best female lead eliminates the first-best female lead, causing Su Chen to instantly lose the assistance of the 2 strongest female leads. A total of 10,000 of Su Chen's luck points have been deducted, and the host has gained 100,000 villain points. Li Feiyu, who was killing zombies in another city, suddenly received a system broadcast. The green dot representing Mu Zir on the real-time holographic positioning map disappeared instantly. Li Feiyu simply smiled, remained silent, and continued with the Crystal Core collection plan. Chapter 77, The Deal with Yi Jueying. 2 months later, Li Feiyu, posing as a mysterious merchant, once again arrived inside Starlight City. Compared to 2 months ago, the zombies had become significantly stronger. Second-tier zombies are everywhere, and even third-tier zombies number 121 in Starlight City. However, these zombies have very low intelligence, roughly equivalent to the intelligence of an average 6-year-old human child. Yi Jueying lived a very comfortable life. After 2 months of safe development, Yi Jueying successfully evolved to the late stage of the 3rd tier, becoming the zombie overlord with the highest intelligence, strength, and power in Starlight City. Upon seeing the mysterious merchant, Yi Jueying stood up from his self-made throne with a cold expression. "You've finally arrived." The mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, nodded slightly, his voice still devoid of any emotion. "Is the crystal core for the mysterious merchant ready?" Yi Jueying nodded and released a powerful mental wave. Soon, several strong zombies pushed several carts full of crystal cores in. Yi Jueying pointed to the crystal cores. There are a total of 3 million first-tier crystal cores, not a single one is missing. Although he successfully advanced to the late stage of the 3rd tier, Yi Jueying did not dare to act recklessly in front of the mysterious merchant. Yi Jueying had already witnessed the power of the mysterious merchant more than 2 months ago. That day, Yi Jueying went out with his zombie subordinates. Suddenly, a powerful pressure descended, and then a mysterious person wearing a strange mask descended from the sky on auspicious 7-colored clouds, exuding a chilling aura. The mysterious figure slowly descended, his gaze falling on Yi Jueying, the only intelligent one. He introduced himself. "I am a mysterious merchant from the distant eastern continent. I have come here to make a deal with you." Yi Jueying's heart trembled. She could sense that the mysterious person in front of her was unfathomably powerful, far beyond her ability to contend with. Yi Jueying forced himself to remain calm and looked the other person up and down before cautiously asking, "What kind of deal do you want to make with me?" The mysterious merchant smiled enigmatically and calmly uttered 2 words, "Su Chen." Upon hearing this, Yi Jueying became agitated. "Do you know where he is?" Su Chen. Yi Jueying would never forget this guy's face until her death. On the 10th day of the apocalypse, not long after the black rain stopped, this guy led a fat man and a woman into the Yi residence and attacked her without saying a word. She finally managed to escape from the Yi residence, but the 3 men continued to relentlessly pursue her. If she hadn't been lucky enough to encounter a mysterious person who could also control zombies, she would have really been hacked open by Su Chen and had her crystal core taken. Although several days have passed, she still can't forget the faces of Su Chen and the other 2. She was bullied before becoming a zombie, and she's still bullied after becoming a zombie. Wasn't her mutation a waste? On the day she survived being caught by a zombie, Yi Jueying swore that she would make everyone who had bullied her pay the price. The mysterious merchant nodded and said softly, "Exactly." Yi Jueying's dark pupils contracted as he stared at the mysterious merchant with apprehension. "How did you know about this?" The mysterious merchant revealed a cryptic smile. "As a mysterious merchant, there is no secret in this world that I do not know. As long as you're willing to pay the appropriate price, you can get anything you want from the mysterious merchant." Yi Jueying remained silent for a long time before finally nodding solemnly. "What do you need?" "Crystal cores, 1,000,000 crystal cores, for Su Chen's whereabouts today." The mysterious merchant calmly quoted the price. Yi Jueying thought for a moment and asked, "I don't have that many crystal cores right now. Can I pay after I catch Su Chen?" "Okay." Li Feiyu agreed to Yi Jueying's request for credit. Seeing that he could buy on credit, Yi Jueying immediately asked, "I want to know Su Chen's whereabouts right now." "Su Chen will be taken to the playground of the Starlight Academy by people from the Starlight Base this afternoon for trial. The Starlight Base possesses a large quantity of heavy weaponry, and their leader, Li Feiyu, is a peak 3rd-tier lightning-type ability user. The mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, sold off a portion of his assets in one go. Peak of the 3rd tier, a large number of firearms." Yi Jueying hesitated. She has only recently become a 3rd-tier mental zombie due to the advantage in the number of crystal cores, and her individual strength is no match for Li Feiyu, who is at the peak of the 3rd tier. She can only control a maximum of 400,000 zombies, and through indirect methods such as driving them away, she can drive away a maximum of 700,000 zombies. But she couldn't control over 700,000 zombies. If the zombie horde got out of control and attacked Starlight Base, Li Feiyu definitely wouldn't let her go. The mysterious merchant seemed to know Yi Jueying's thoughts and timely promoted his product. "I have 3 2nd-tier peak mental zombies here. You can control 750,000 zombies through them. With the number you can control, it's enough to form a zombie horde of 1,000,000. Millions." Yi Jueying's fortunes suddenly turned around. If she could completely control a 1,000,000-strong zombie horde, then she would have the right to negotiate with Li Feiyu. With so many zombies under pressure, getting them to hand over Su Chen, who is being judged, is not a problem at all. "Okay," Yi Jueying readily agreed. A 2nd-tier peak mental zombie costs 500,000 crystal cores. Adding the previous 1,000,000 crystal cores and the interest on the 500,000 crystal cores, the total is 3,000,000 crystal cores. The crystal cores cannot be lower than the 1st tier. I will come to collect them today, 2 months from now. 3,000,000? Yi Jueying was also shocked but quickly calmed down. With a permanent population of over 10 million and 3,000,000 crystal cores, 2 months would be more than enough for Star City. "Fine, 3,000,000 it is. Just give me those 3 psychic zombies first." Yi Jueying gritted her teeth and agreed to the mysterious merchant's deal. The mysterious merchant snapped his fingers, and 3 decent-looking puppet-like peak-level 2nd-tier mental zombies appeared in front of Yi Jueying. Don't even think about deceiving the mysterious merchant, or the consequences will be severe. The mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, calmly threatened. Yi Jueying swallowed hard, thinking to himself, this mysterious merchant is terrifying. He can even take in half-living creatures. Don't worry, I will definitely have all the crystal cores ready in 2 months, Yi Jueying assured him confidently. With tens of millions of zombies in Starlight City, she only needs to command the zombies to attack each other. Once the zombies are no longer useful, she can dig out their crystal cores and use their flesh and blood to feed other zombies to improve their strength. She won't lose anything at all. With a wave of his hand, the mysterious merchant Li Feiyu sent the 3 million crystal cores on the cart into the hands of the Heavenly Destiny villain system, where they were instantly refined. Li Feiyu's villain value increased by 3 million. Including the crystal cores he obtained earlier, Li Feiyu now has a total of 8,370,000 villain values. After the transaction was completed, Li Feiyu did not leave Starlight City directly. Instead, he went around in circles and finally used his spatial ability to arrive at the room where Yi Jueying was imprisoning Su Chen. More than 50 days ago, Yi Jueying, who had obtained 100,000 crystal cores, took them to the school and successfully exchanged them for his enemy, Su Chen. This transaction was carried out by Sang Biao on his behalf. Yi Jueying only wanted Su Chen and didn't care who the traitor was. After Sang Biao and the others verified the number of crystal cores, Su Chen was transferred to the hands of the second female lead, Yi Jueying. Looking at Su Chen, who was covered in filth and looked listless, Li Feiyu knew some of what Su Chen had been going through these past few days. His luck value dropped by another 66,000, which shows how incredibly powerful Su Chen's skills were. Who are you? Su Chen's weak question suddenly came from inside the room. I am a mysterious merchant from the Eastern continent, and I would like to make a deal with you. Chapter 78, Yin-Yang Reversal. Now work honestly for me, girl. Upon hearing the words, mysterious businessman, Su Chen's battered body suddenly trembled violently, and an invisible force surged within him. Su Chen's eyes turned bloodshot, filled with endless hatred and rage. The mysterious businessman. Su Chen muttered the name through gritted teeth, his voice filled with deep resentment and unwillingness. It was this unknown creature that sold him to Huang De, which led to him suffering unprecedented humiliation. Recalling that painful and unbearable experience, Su Chen was filled with grief and anger. The mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, and that poisonous zombie mother Yi Jueying, these 3 guys are already on Su Chen's kill list. Once he rises to power, he will definitely uproot these 3 bastards and the forces behind them. Young man, don't be angry. The mysterious merchant only does business and treats every living being equally. Don't you want to escape now? The mysterious merchant Li Feiyu said seductively. Escape? Su Chen thought about escaping from here every single moment. However, now his limbs are all broken. His crystal core has been forcibly dug out by that vicious woman Yi Jueying, and even his broken body has been ravaged beyond recognition by zombies. I have nothing on me right now, so I can't offer anything in return for your trade. Su Chen deliberately feigned helplessness, using a retreat as a tactic to advance. Su Chen had never heard of any mysterious merchant in his previous life. The sudden appearance of such a creature in this life made Su Chen suspect that the other party's identity was problematic. Now that he's been crippled, Su Chen can't figure out what the mysterious merchant is up to. He can only take it one step at a time and see how the mysterious merchant gets him out of the hellhole. Determining the identity of the mysterious businessman is an advantage for Su Chen, a reborn individual, as he knows parts of the future that others don't. Li Feiyu knew that Su Chen would have doubts, but with the existence of the Destiny villain system, the mysterious merchant's identity could only be true, if not true. The mysterious merchant was able to provide his own supplies, and Li Feiyu was also able to provide his own items through the Destiny villain system. The facts were right in front of them, and seeing was believing. The mysterious merchant Li Feiyu didn't care that Su Chen had nothing. He said indifferently, "It's okay. The mysterious merchant allows loans for advanced transactions. Yi Jueying, who bought you before, borrowed 3 million first-tier crystal cores to successfully rescue you from Li Feiyu. As long as you borrow money, the mysterious merchant guarantees you a divine artifact that can restore you to your former state, or even rebuild you from the ashes." Upon hearing the phrases, restored to its original state, and destruction followed by reconstruction, Su Chen felt a sudden jolt. These 2 phrases were incredibly appealing to Su Chen. Restored to its original state. meant that the other party truly had a way to heal his body and restore his superpowers. Destruction and then construction meant that the other party's method could also allow him to reach a higher level and experience a surge in strength. Su Chen also knew that the mysterious merchant would not do a losing business. The mysterious merchant would most likely make him work like that poisonous woman, Yi Jueying, to pay off his debts, and the crystal cores he would get would definitely be far more than Yi Jueying's. But Su Chen never thought of repaying him. Once he returned to his peak, far from the Emperor's reach, he didn't believe the mysterious merchant would be able to find him again. Even if the mysterious merchant were to find him precisely, he could still make excuses, saying that he needs to improve his strength first before he can obtain a lot of crystal cores. Once he has enough power, who will dare to come after him for debts? After clarifying the situation, Su Chen decisively agreed. Okay, mysterious merchant, I agree to trade with you. The mysterious merchant, Li Feiyu, smiled and said, Young man, let's make this clear first. This divine artifact requires a total of 1 million second-tier crystal cores, 300,000 third-tier crystal cores, and 100,000 fourth-tier crystal cores. If you agree, the mysterious merchant will take out the divine artifact to save you. I agree, Su Chen replied decisively. Having survived 8 years of hardship in the apocalypse, Su Chen had long since developed the ability to make lies sound more convincing than the truth. Su Chen believed that this so-called mysterious businessman could not see that he had only agreed verbally and had no intention of paying back the money. The mysterious merchant nodded and quickly opened the system shop. Mortal-grade yin-yang reversal goo, 500,000 villain points, capable of reversing yin and yang, bringing the dead back to life and turning decay into wonder. System purchase. Li Feiyu decisively arranged for Su Chen to. Ding, 500,000 villain points deducted from the host. Congratulations, host. You have obtained 1 mortal-level yin-yang reincarnation goo, which has been automatically stored in the system space. Li Feiyu quickly took out the yin goo from the system and put it in Su Chen's mouth. It melted instantly upon entering his mouth, and a mysterious power enveloped Su Chen's entire body. The wound in Su Chen's dantian rapidly healed. His twisted limbs quickly returned to their original positions. His skeletal structure visibly shrank, and his black hair grew rapidly. Ha ha ha, great, I've finally recovered. Su Chen sat up excitedly, suddenly realizing his voice was off, and feeling as if some extra weight had suddenly appeared in front of him. Su Chen quickly looked down. No, Su Chen screamed in despair. Fortunately, Li Feiyu had set up a simple spatial blockade when he came in, so Su Chen's voice could not be heard. Mysterious merchant, what exactly did you do to me? Su Chen's face flushed with anger. The girl is ashamed and indignant. Li Feiyu quickly shook off this immature and absurd thought from his mind. This yin-yang reversal goo is powerful. It can even bring back Su Chen's ordinary-looking appearance. If Li Feiyu hadn't witnessed the whole thing, he would never have believed that the woman in front of him, whose looks far surpassed those of the female lead, was actually Su Chen. Li Feiyu looked at Su Chen calmly, without a ripple in her eyes, as if she had expected this scene. Young man. No, young woman, this is a deal you agreed to yourself. Upon hearing this, Su Chen trembled with anger, pointing angrily at the mysterious merchant Li Feiyu. You deliberately didn't mention the side effects, otherwise why would I have agreed? The mysterious businessman Li Feiyu shrugged. You didn't ask. You, Su Chen trembled with rage. The mysterious merchant Li Feiyu casually reminded him. Young man. No, young woman, it's not like you can't turn back. Once you've collected twice the amount of crystal cores as mentioned before, come back to the mysterious merchant to exchange for the yang goo. Remember, this is your only chance to turn back. After saying that, Li Feiyu teleported away and left Su Chen's boudoir instantly. Damn it, that damn mysterious merchant, bastard. Su Chen angrily smashed the bed that Yi Jueying had thoughtfully prepared for her to pieces. Su Chen has now clearly become a Tier 3 early-stage ability user. His ability has changed from the Fire-type ability, Purgatory Flame, to the Water-type ability, Rootless Water, and his appearance has improved by several orders of magnitude. Having vented his pent-up frustration, Su Chen immediately broke through the wall and fled, running naked through the deserted city. Ding, the host, posing as a mysterious merchant, deliberately tricked the chosen one of destiny, Su Chen, causing Su Chen to undergo a gender swap, resulting in a mental breakdown and explosion. 50,000 of Su Chen's luck points have been deducted, and the host has gained 500,000 villain points. It seems Su Chen has honed his mentality quite well, Even completely transforming from XY to XX only resulted in a deduction of 50,000 luck points. Li Feiyu was somewhat surprised. But it's okay, there's still a long way to go. Keep it up, young man. No, I should say young woman, work hard for me. I'm really looking forward to seeing your expression when you crush the Yang Gu. Hehe, tilde. Li Feiyu couldn't help but let out a sneer from 10,000 meters in the sky. Yin and Yang have reversed. Now you'd better work for me obediently, young lady. P.S. Please encourage me to update more frequently and support me out there. Omega equals. Chapter 79. You don't really think the most dangerous place is the safest, do you? 3 more days passed. 2 months and 21 days into the apocalypse, a complete stranger arrived at the survivor registration office of Starlight Base. Grandpa, I heard that Starlight Base is taking in survivors. Is that true? A pleasant voice rang out, instantly rousing the old man who had been dozing off. The old man looked up and saw a young, beautiful, and youthful woman standing in front of him. The woman looked to be about 17 or 18 years old, dressed in simple and neat casual clothes, with long hair draped over her shoulders and a very pretty face. The old man looked kindly at the unfamiliar woman and replied gently, "Young lady, our Starlight Base does indeed take in all survivors, but we need to register their identities and verify their information." After speaking, the old man skillfully took out a registration form from the drawer and looked at Su Chen with a serious expression. "Young lady, what's your name?" "Su Chenyu." Su Chen said his newly chosen alias without batting an eye. "Gender." Su Chen was speechless, but he still bit his red lips tightly with a dark face and uttered a single word. "Woman." The old man calmly nodded and wrote on the blank registration form, "Gender, female, normal psychological cognition." There was nothing they could do. Some of the previous survivors had given rather elaborate descriptions of their genders, including things like bananas, cilantro, apples, plastic bags, paper airplanes, and rocket engines. After that, the old man added a step to ask the survivors about their gender, and made a corresponding note afterward. "Age?" Su Chen answered, feigning cooperation, 18. The old man wrote 18 in the place where his age should be on the blank paper, and then asked, "Have you awakened any special abilities?" "What are they?" "If you have awakened any special abilities, tell me. If not, just answer no." "Ordinary water-based superpower." With that, Su Chen conjured a large water sphere in front of the old man. "A second-tier ability user?" the old man exclaimed in shock. Unexpectedly, this seemingly delicate little girl is actually a second-tier ability user. It really proves the old saying, "You can't judge a book by its cover." The old man nodded, quickly wrote down the type of ability in the space where he was supposed to write his ability, noting second-tier ability user, and then continued to ask, "So, what area did you live in before? Are there any other survivors in your family?" Without hesitation, Su Chen told a lie. "I used to live in the Flip Garden Villa area. My parents and sister all turned into zombies, and I was the only one who survived." The old man looked at the pitiful girl with deep sympathy in his eyes. He sighed and kindly comforted her. "Little girl, don't be sad. It's all over now. This will be your home from now on." Su Chen nodded without saying a word. The old man assumed the other person was immersed in the pain of losing a loved one, so he didn't ask any further questions. After filling out the survivor registration form, the old man took out a simple ability verification test form from his drawer and handed it to Su Chen. "All right, young lady, take this form and go in for the test. The location is the school's stargazing tower." After receiving the ability verification test form for superhumans, Su Chen casually glanced through it. It listed a few simple test items, which were basically tests whether superhumans were more suited for combat or support. There was nothing new about it, and the test content was much less than that of the major powers she had visited in her previous life. "Li Feiyu, you'd never guess that I, Su Chen, would openly infiltrate your base and use it to improve myself right in front of you." Having successfully infiltrated the Starlight Base, Su Chen's mood improved for the second time. The last time she was in such a good mood was when she first realized she had been reborn. "Li Feiyu, just you wait, I will tear you to pieces. I will grind your bones to dust," Su Chen silently swore in his heart. After escaping from the mother zombie, Su Chen did not choose to leave Starlight City. Instead, she decided to infiltrate the Starlight Base. She wanted to provoke a conflict between Li Feiyu and the mother zombie, causing both of them to suffer heavy losses. As the saying goes, the most dangerous place is the safest place. Su Chen was confident that Li Feiyu would never expect that he would infiltrate the Starlight Base. Previously, she was in the open while Li Feiyu was in the shadows. Now, the situation has reversed. She has hidden herself in the shadows, while Li Feiyu has become the one in the open. If it's time for Su Chenyu to take revenge. Li Feiyu, when you finally find out I've been right under your nose all along, I wonder what you'll think. A glint of light flashed in Su Chen's eyes. He straightened his back, puffed out his chest, and strode confidently toward the star-gazing tower. Meanwhile, Li Feiyu, who was sitting in the principal's office drinking tea, had already noticed Su Chen's arrival. Watching Su Chen's brilliant performance, Li Feiyu suddenly felt a little reluctant to reveal Su Chen's identity so soon. Go to the survivor registration room and bring me the list of survivors who recently joined the base, so I can take a look. Yes, young Marshal. Upon hearing the order, the blonde-haired man immediately stood up and ran towards the survivor registration room outside the school gate. Not long after, Chen Dingyang, the blonde-haired man, ran back to the office with a list of survivors and a registration form in his hand. Young Marshal, here is the list you requested. Li Feiyu took the registration list and registration form and began to carefully read through them. His gaze swept quickly across each name, searching for a specific target. Finally, Li Feiyu saw the name Su Chenyu. Li Feiyu handed Su Chenyu's registration form to Huang Mao. Bring this second-tier ability user named Su Chenyu to see me. Yes, Wen replied quickly, then turned and left. 30 minutes later, Huang Mao brought Su Chen, who was using the alias Su Chenyu, back to the office. Young Marshal, this is Su Chenyu. She just joined today, the blonde-haired man introduced with a smile. When Huang Mao first saw Su Chenyu, he was also amazed by her beauty. Whether it was her figure or her appearance, she was one of the best in the world before the apocalypse. Not to mention that Su Chenyu was also a second-level water-type ability user. Definitely a plus. Huang Mao also had the person in charge of testing Su Chenyu's superpowers arrange a detailed full-body examination for her. She was in good health, had no defects, and was still a virgin. Su Chen, standing to the side, was speechless. The extra full-body checkup she had just undergone made her feel utterly ashamed. As a grown man, she never imagined that one day she would be dragged into a gynecological examination. Li Feiyu glanced at Su Chenyu, who had a dark expression the whole time and suddenly spoke up to expose him. Su Chen, it seems you've adapted quite well these past 3 days. Upon hearing this, everyone in the office went completely silent, as if time itself had stopped flowing. Their eyes were as big as buffaloes as they stared in disbelief at Su Chenyu standing at the door, their hearts filled with endless shock. Su Chenyu is Su Chen. This thought exploded in their minds like an atomic bomb, creating endless waves. They simply couldn't believe that the stunningly beautiful young woman before them was actually the filthy, rootless eunuch from before. Su Chen was also in shock. Impossible, this is impossible. How could Li Feiyu recognize my identity? I've changed completely. How could Li Feiyu possibly see through my identity? Impossible, absolutely impossible. Li Feiyu must be bluffing me. Su Chen kept trying to convince himself. Forcing himself to calm down, Su Chen immediately stood up and retorted. Li Feiyu, what makes you say I'm some kind of Su Chen? What evidence do you have? Su Chen looked directly at Li Feiyu with neither arrogance nor servility, as if he had suffered a great injustice. Li Feiyu looked at Su Chenyu with an unwavering expression. Su Chen, you don't really think the most dangerous place is the safest, do you? The office staff looked at Li Feiyu with puzzled expressions. Chapter 80 Li Feiyu, what exactly do you want? Young Marshal, are you mistaken? This Su Chenyu is clearly a woman. How could she be Su Chen? An adjutant asked incredulously. The adjutant had seen Su Chen before and knew what Su Chen looked like. Compared to the woman in front of him, Su Chen was nothing but a disgusting pile of dog shit. Yes, young master, Su Chen was thrown to that mother zombie more than a month ago. There's absolutely no chance of her surviving. This woman in front of you can't be Su Chen. I think you must have mistaken her for someone else. Sang Bio quickly chimed in, advising him. Yes, young Marshal, I even arranged a full physical examination for Su Chenyu. She's clearly a woman. She couldn't possibly be that piece of shit, Su Chen, the traitor. Yellow-haired Chen Dingyang added, explaining. Upon hearing Huang Mao's explanation, Su Chen's pale face instantly darkened. Li Feiyu smiled and took out a small ball of light emitting pure white light from the system space. With just one glance, Su Chen recognized it as the Yang Gu that the mysterious merchant had mentioned. How could the Yang Gu be on Li Feiyu? Su Chen's heart was filled with shock and disbelief. Could it be that Li Feiyu is the mysterious merchant? A ridiculous thought suddenly popped into Su Chen's mind. But Su Chen quickly dismissed this ridiculous idea. No, no, no. Li Feiyu could never be the mysterious merchant. Evil divine objects like Yin Gu and Yang Gu are not products of this world at all. How could a spoiled brat like Li Feiyu possibly obtain such things? Su Chen's mind raced. It must be the butterfly effect caused by my rebirth that brought this mysterious merchant, who shouldn't exist, into this world. The Yang Gu in Li Feiyu's possession was most likely sold to him by that bastard mysterious merchant. Thinking of this, Su Chen's hatred for the mysterious merchant seeped into his very bones. Su Chen, this is the Yang Gu from the Yin-Yang reversal Gu that the mysterious merchant used to save you. It's also the only Yang Gu that can turn you back. Li Feiyu looked at Su Chen with a half-smile, completely unconcerned that she wouldn't admit it. Li Feiyu, Su Chen trembled with anger. Now that the Yang Gu has fallen into Li Feiyu's hands, and Li Feiyu knows the function of the Yang Gu, it has completely seized the lifeline of Su Chen's fate, and Su Chen has no way to deal with it. She endured it all for the sake of the Yang Gu. Li Feiyu looked at Su Chen as if he hadn't seen him and kindly advised, Su Chen. No, Su Cheniu, don't get excited. Getting excited can easily cause menstrual irregularities and you'll suffer from menstrual cramps. Su Chen Sheng was so angry that his chest ached. Li Feiyu gently pinched the Yang Gu in his hand, the corners of his mouth slightly upturned, looking at Su Chen with a half-smile, his tone tinged with mockery. Su Chen, I bought this Yang Gu from a mysterious merchant at a high price. Tell me, what should I do? As he spoke, Li Feiyu squeezed the Yang Gu in his hand with a slight force, and the Yang Gu emitted a sharp cry. Su Chen was terrified, her heart filled with panic, but she forced herself to suppress it and calm down. She looked Li Feiyu straight in the eye, gritting her teeth, and said, Li Feiyu, what exactly do you want? Ha ha ha, I asked you what I want. Li Feiyu laughed loudly, then looked at Su Chen calmly, deliberately saying nothing and just quietly watching Su Chen. The blue lightning in Li Feiyu's hand surged continuously, and the Yang Gu between his index finger and thumb trembled in fear of the heavenly tribulation power. The pure white luster on his body flickered, as if he was about to die. Unable to withstand the pressure, Su Chen quickly succumbed to the pressure and chose to compromise forcefully, saying, Li Feiyu, just tell me what you want. As long as it doesn't violate my principles, I'll grant you whatever you desire. For the sake of the Yang Gu, she chose to submit. She endured it all. Li Feiyu put away the Yang Gu that was almost scared to death and looked at Su Chen indifferently. The mysterious merchant said that the Yang Gu and Yin Gu together require 2 million second-tier crystal cores, 600,000 third-tier crystal cores, and 200,000 fourth-tier crystal cores. Since we've been classmates, I won't treat you unfairly. I'll give you a discount. 3 million for second-tier crystal cores, 1 million for third-tier crystal cores, 500,000 for fourth-tier crystal cores, and 550 for first-tier crystal cores. After stating his requirements, Li Feiyu added cheekily, How about it? Pretty good deal, right? Su Chen was so angry that he immediately lost his composure. Why don't you just rob it? 5 million Tier 1 crystal cores, 3 million Tier 2 crystal cores, 1 million Tier 3 crystal cores, and 500,000 Tier 4 crystal cores. Even if she slaughtered every single zombie in Starlight City, she might not be able to gather them all. First-tier crystal cores are relatively easy to obtain. 2 months have passed since the first Black Rain, and most zombies have evolved to first tier, making them readily available. With a little effort, the second Black Rain will arrive in half a month for the second-tier zombies. It's not too difficult. Although third-tier crystal cores are a bit difficult to find, with the help of exotic beasts, they can still be found with some time. Fourth tier, Su Chen felt that Li Feiyu was just making things difficult for her. It had only been a little over 2 months since the apocalypse. Where did this fourth-tier zombie come from? There are indeed fourth-tier marine creatures, but those are in the deep ocean. In the ocean, the advantage is like divine assistance. As a mere mid-stage third-tier water-type ability user, she would have been nothing more than showing off her limited skills before an expert, letting ocean behemoths treat her like wild monsters. Li Feiyu shrugged and said frankly, Isn't this what I'm doing, stealing it? Li Feiyu, Su Chen's voice rose and fell. If she gets angry at Li Feiyu again, she'll probably have menstrual irregularities this month. Li Feiyu shook his head, considerately thinking of Su Chen. I'm not asking you to take it out now. The apocalypse has only just begun and there's still a long time to go. If you can't get it, you can still rob, steal, or sell your body. There are many ways. I only care about the result. Of course, if you dare to steal my people, I'll make sure they know what it means to get what they deserve. Su Chen's face flushed with anger. Li Feiyu looked at Su Chen with a nonchalant expression, waiting for Su Chen's decision. Fine, I agree, but you must promise to give me the Yang Gu after it's done. In the end, Su Chen chose to compromise. There was no other way. She didn't want to be a woman forever, especially since that bastard Li Feiyu knew her true identity. If she disagrees, based on her understanding of Li Feiyu from her previous life, Li Feiyu might actually find someone to let her experience a few rounds of pregnancy. For her own sake and for the sake of the Yang Gu, she endured it. Ding, the host has publicly exposed the schemes of the Chosen One, Su Chen, causing Su Chen's revenge plan to fail before it even began. 2,000 of Su Chen's luck points have been deducted, and the host has gained 20,000 villain points. Ding, the host publicly exposed Su Chen's identity as the Chosen One of Destiny, and even used the Yang Gu to force Su Chen to learn to bow his head, shattering Su Chen's stupid mentality of heaven is second to none, and she is the boss. 15,000 of Su Chen's luck points have been deducted, and the host has gained 150,000 villain points. Ding, the host used Yang Gu to force the Chosen One to compromise, forcing Su Chen to work for his former enemy. This dealt a heavy blow to Su Chen's spirit, leaving him extremely angry and helpless. 3,000 of Su Chen's luck points are deducted, and the host gains 30,000 villain points. The people in the office looked at each other in disbelief. This woman really is that piece of dog shit Su Chen Ahe. They had just been thinking, if the young marshal wasn't interested, they could try to follow him. They never expected that this dead transvestite was actually Su Chen in disguise, which almost made them vomit their lunch. Fortunately, the young marshal saw through the illusion and exposed Su Chen's treacherous schemes. Otherwise, Starlight Base would have been in danger. Young Marshal, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have doubted your judgment. I'm guilty. The adjutant who had spoken first admitted his mistake with remorse. If it weren't for the young Marshal's strategic planning, Starlight Base might have been destroyed by that scoundrel Su Chen. Young Master, I was wrong. I shouldn't have doubted your judgment, Sang Bio said remorsefully. Li Feiyu patted Sang Bio on the shoulder. This is not your fault. I also learned about Su Chen turning into a woman from the mysterious merchant. You are not at fault in this matter. Without the mysterious merchant's guidance, I probably would not have discovered Su Chen's true identity. Young Marshal, I am also guilty. I should not have let my guard down and let Su Chen, this treacherous villain, cloud my judgment. To atone for my mistakes, young Marshal, please allow me to oversee Su Chen, protect the base's safety, and be ready to go through fire and water for you, young Marshal, and solve your problems. The blonde-haired man shouted respectfully. All right, I'll leave Su Chen you in your care. Li Feiyu nodded slightly and handed Su Chen over to Xiao Wen and Huang Mao. Thank you, young Marshal. A glint of wisdom flashed in the blonde-haired man's eyes. Hearing this, Su Chen felt a chill run down her spine. Her intuition told her that this blonde-haired bastard would definitely do something bad to her. P.S. Please encourage me to update more frequently and support me out there. 1D551. Chapter 81. Let the Chosen One deal against the heroine of destiny. On the first day of the third month of the apocalypse, global black rain descended once again. Young Marshal, it's raining heavily again outside, Xiao Wen and Huang Mao reported quietly. Black rain, it seems the zombies are about to evolve and become stronger again. Li Feiyu tapped the table, then asked, by the way, where is Su Chenyu now? Because Su Chen is still useful to Li Feiyu for the time being, Li Feiyu asked everyone to refer to Su Chen by the pseudonym Su Chenyu, to avoid anyone accidentally making a mistake. Young Marshal, ever since you discovered Su Chenyu's true identity a few days ago, she has been hunting zombies outside. She only returns to the school when she needs to rest. The survivors all call her the zombie-slaying maniac. She didn't go out this morning and stayed in her assigned single dormitory room, a converted storage room, as if she knew it would rain black today. The blonde-haired guy reported respectfully. Li Feiyu nodded slightly and said gently, after a while, bring Su Chenyu here. After the rain stops, go into the city to observe the evolution of the zombies. Yes, young Marshal. After saying that, Xiao Wen and Huang Mao left the office. Xiao Wen and Huang Mao didn't dare to delay. They ran back to their room, found the little gadget that they had just repaired a couple of days ago, and then quickly walked towards Su Chen's room. Click, the blonde-haired man turned the key and barged inside. What are you doing? Su Chen instinctively covered himself with the blanket, glaring angrily at the blonde-haired man who had suddenly barged in. The blonde-haired man looked at Su Chen with disdain. Su Chenyu, I know who you are. What's the point of stopping me? Su Chen looked at the thug in front of him with a face full of shame and indignation. All right, Su Chen, I won't waste my breath on you this time. The young marshal asked me to take you up there so we can check on the evolution of the zombies in the inner city after the Black Rain ends. I understand you can go now. I'll be out after I change, Su Chen replied, turning his face away. The blonde-haired man glanced at the slightly reddish plastic basin next to the futon, handed the gift he brought to Su Chen, and impatiently warned, "Hurry up, I don't want to wait too long." "I understand," Su Chen replied with a dark face. In the afternoon, the three of them arrived at the inner area of Starlight City. Unlike other major cities, Starlight City had undergone a major cleanup, and the number of zombies was significantly less than in other major cities, but their quality was also much higher. After being baptized by the Black Rain, most of the zombies that were drenched in it successfully advanced to the second-tier zombie level. "Young Marshal, should we organize some men to clear out these zombies?" the blonde-haired man asked nervously. Yellow Hair's forehead was already covered in beads of sweat, and his eyes kept scanning his surroundings, ready to deal with any potential dangers at any moment. Seeing so many zombies, it would be a lie to say I wasn't nervous. Having such a large horde of corpses gathered around you would make anyone feel uneasy. Although the mother zombie Yi Jueying had promised never to attack the Starlight base, who among the survivors could guarantee that the zombies would keep that promise? Moreover, with so many Tier 2 zombies gathered together, a new zombie king is bound to emerge. If Yi Jueying were to back out at that time, he could easily shift the blame onto the other zombies. Li Feiyu nodded and said in a deep voice, "So many second-tier zombies do need to be cleared out. The first-tier crystal cores have reached the exchange limit, and only a small portion of the second-tier crystal cores have been exchanged. It is indeed necessary to replenish the villain value." Compared to Wang Mao, Su Chen was much more excited. With so many zombies, it would be more than enough to complete the first and second-tier crystal cores. Then he could focus on finding third-tier zombies. By the time he had collected enough third-tier crystal cores, there would be more fourth-tier zombies. Suddenly, Li Feiyu gave Su Chen an order. "Su Chenyu, go and take out the level 3 zombies in that building ahead." "Understood." Su Chen nodded and walked expressionlessly towards the small horde of corpses. Su Chen swept his right hand horizontally, and a large amount of water gushed out, as if it had a life force, quickly condensing into an extremely sharp, transparent water saw. The water saw gleamed brightly in the sunlight, sending chills down one's spine. Holding a water saw, Su Chen flashed into the horde of zombies, transforming into a killing machine. The water saw in her hand spun rapidly, cutting the zombies in half wherever it passed, splattering black blood everywhere. Ordinary water-based ability users generally lack offensive power, but Su Chen has no such weakness. She manipulated the water flow on the surface of the water saw to move at high speed, turning the water into the most deadly weapon, easily cutting through zombies. Every time the water saw was swung, the sound of the zombies' bones breaking could be heard. Su Chen moved with ease among the zombie horde, unleashing her power as if she were cutting through not zombies, but her nemesis, Li Feiyu. "Li Feiyu, watch closely. Even if your ability level is higher than mine, you'll never be as good at using your abilities as I am." A surge of confidence rose within Su Chen. As time went on, the number of zombies attacking Su Chen decreased, and eventually they all fell to the ground. Roar, sensing the death of all its underlings outside, the early-stage Tier 3 zombie inside the building let out a deafening roar. Immediately afterwards, it smashed through the building wall and leaped from the middle of the building, attempting to use its massive body to crush the people below into a pulp. Su Chen pushed off with both legs, her delicate body soaring into the air, easily dodging the mindless attack of the brainless zombie. Boom! With a deafening roar, dust billowed as the mindless zombie smashed a massive crater into the ground, as if the earth itself were trembling. In the distance, a familiar figure stood on the rooftop, calmly watching the battle between the obese zombie and the unfamiliar human with superpowers. "A third-tier water-type ability user? Interesting." A slight smile appeared on Yi Jueying's lips. After being baptized by the Black Rain, Yi Jueying successfully entered the 4th tier and gained control of all the zombies in Starlight City. More than 10 days ago, Su Chen disappeared from the prison cell. Yi Jueying ordered all the zombies under his command to block all the exits of Starlight City and conduct a carpet search of Starlight City, but so far there has been no result. Sensing a fight breaking out in the city, Yi Jueying assumed it was Su Chen and rushed over, only to find that it was just a stranger, a human with superpowers. You guys go and kill her. Yi Jueying waved his hand. Three Tier 3 zombies emerged from behind Yi Jueying, their eyes gleaming with ferocious greed, and quickly ran towards Su Chen in the distance. Su Chen suddenly felt a chilling, killing intent. Turning her head, she saw that the female zombie who had previously persecuted her was standing atop a distant high-rise building, looking at her mockingly. Damn it, this zombie has actually advanced, Su Chen frowned. With just one glance, she could tell that the mother zombie had advanced to the 4th level. Roar, roar, roar! The 3 zombies roared excitedly. The flesh and blood of a 3rd-tier ability user holds immense allure for zombies, their innate instinct to devour constantly stimulating them. Devour her. Devour her. Damn it! Su Chen's face darkened as he looked in Li Feiyu's direction, only to find that Li Feiyu had disappeared sometime earlier. Damn it! Su Chen cursed angrily. With lightning speed, he sawed the large zombie that had jumped off the building in half, got into position, and waited for the 3 3rd-tier zombies to rush in. Chapter 82, severely injures Yi Jueying. Roast, the zombie running in the middle suddenly breathed out a burst of flames. Su Chen quickly dodged, muttering to himself, I didn't expect there to be a 3rd-tier fire-type zombie. Oh, with another zombie, moving as fast as the wind, suddenly appeared behind Su Chen. Su Chen quickly dodged again, barely avoiding the zombie's sneak attack. With a loud boom, the 3rd zombie punched Su Chen in the abdomen, sending him flying backwards for more than 10 meters. He clutched his stomach in pain with his left hand and forced himself to stand up again. Her period was already annoying enough, and this brain-dead zombie in front of her just happened to hit her in the lower abdomen. You all deserve to die, Su Chen roared coldly, his eyes blazing with fury, as the length of the water saw in his hand instantly extended, the water jets on its surface spinning at high speed. Auo! The zombie couldn't understand what Su Chen was saying at all, and continued to charge towards him with a frantic roar. Enraged, Su Chen no longer held back and attacked with all his might. The 3-meter water saw on his right arm was like a divine weapon descending from the sky. As soon as it touched a zombie, its skin was torn open, revealing its bare bones. In just a few exchanges, the slowest of the 3 zombies, the strength zombie, was sawed into zombie pieces by Su Chen, who was confident that he was invincible among his peers. The flame zombie lost half of its body, leaving only the speed zombie, which had lost an arm, struggling to hold on. Seeing the human woman with such powerful combat strength, Yi Jueying waved her hand again, and tens of thousands of 2nd-tier zombies surged towards Su Chen like a monstrous wave. Yi Jueying stared coldly at Su Chen with her beautiful eyes. If 3 zombies can't kill you, then 3,000, 30,000, or even 300,000. I refuse to believe that your superpowers will never run out. Seeing the countless zombies surging in from all directions, Su Chen smiled bitterly, quickly shortened the water saw to 1 meter, and turned to run towards the building directly opposite. There was no other way, there were too many zombies. The only way to survive was to take advantage of the terrain. She ran into the building, intending to use the cramped stairwell to her advantage against the horde of tens of thousands of zombies, and find another way to gain the upper hand. At the same time, Li Feiyu, who had settled Huang Mao, suddenly appeared behind Yi Jueying. Long time no see, Yi Jueying. Li Feiyu greeted him with a smile. Li Feiyu. Yi Jueying stared in horror at the suddenly appearing Li Feiyu. She hadn't expected Li Feiyu to improve so quickly, that his spatial ability could teleport such a distance, appearing out of nowhere behind her from outside her perception. If Li Feiyu had launched a sneak attack just now, she would have had absolutely no chance of resisting. Li Feiyu, what are you doing here? Yi Jueying stared intently at Li Feiyu's movements, fearing that he might suddenly attack her at any moment. Li Feiyu smiled slightly. It's nothing, I just came to visit an old friend and deal with some potential problems. Li Feiyu, I am now a 4th-tier mental zombie king, capable of controlling all the zombies in Starlight City. Are you sure you really want to be my enemy? Yi Jueying threatened coldly. Li Feiyu smiled at Yi Jueying. You can give it a try. The next moment, Yi Jueying seemed to have suffered a severe injury, spitting out a mouthful of black blood and becoming weak. Yi Jueying stared at Li Feiyu in disbelief. Li Feiyu toyed with the pure white 4th-tier spiritual crystal core in his hand and said with a look of disdain, Yi Jueying, how about it? Can you still control zombies now? Li Feiyu, you're ruthless. Yi Jueying's delicate body trembled as she knelt on the ground. Having lost his spiritual source, Yi Jueying's aura weakened, and he could barely sustain himself with only the energy of his physical body. Out of control, the surrounding Tier 3 zombies swarmed towards Yi Jueying, their bloodthirsty instincts constantly telling them. As long as they devour this female fellow zombie in front of them, they can evolve. Snap, Li Feiyu snapped his fingers. The next moment, the surrounding zombies fell to the ground. Their brains turned into mush, and they were dead beyond any doubt. A multicolored crystal core appeared out of thin air and floated behind Li Feiyu, without a trace of blood, and was extremely beautiful. Li Feiyu, what exactly do you want? Yi Jueying stared intently at Li Feiyu, his eyes filled with undisguised murderous intent. Nothing much, I just want to play a game with you, a game of gladiatorial combat, Li Feiyu explained with interest. Li Feiyu would never let Yi Jueying, one of the key masterminds who destroyed Yishan Mountain in his previous life, go. There's a saying, once a zombie, always a zombie. Li Feiyu was too lazy to reason with Yi Jueying. She wasn't worthy of listening. Very good indeed. I never imagined that my negligence 2 months ago would lead to this situation. Yi Jueying laughed heartily. 2 months ago, she was worried about being traded